ちゃってカラフルに世界がそうなるのずっとそばにいたいの止めないでメリーゴー甘い色を重ねてカラフルに包んであげるよ
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, Rika. Welcome to a very last minute planned, maybe a few hours ago, study stream. Yay! Bati. So, yesterday was Labor Day, which is a holiday here in America, so definitely I did not do anything. I definitely did not do anything, so I'm like, well, there's always tomorrow, and well, tomorrow's today, so we're gonna just kind of like go ahead and study. We're gonna really hope for the best. And honestly, it was like, Tippa, you could choose to stream or you could choose to study, and I'm like, Why not both? So I went to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. I got out. I took a hecky nap. I have a billion snacks around me. I have coffee in my system. They say that you should always drink coffee and then take a nap and you feel more revived. To be honest, if I didn't have the panic of, hey, you have to stream in 30 minutes, I would probably still be sleeping. So, thank you, Cuz, for being my emotional support. I appreciate ya. Anyway, we're gonna get started. So, today's stream is a little bit different. So it's not like a study. It is a study stream, but it's more of a study with me stream, which means that a lot of the content is gonna be new to me. So I did go over the first PowerPoint yesterday. I'm not like a total slacker. I went over this big Chad man. But all the other PowerPoints, I have no idea what's gonna say, so it might be a little bit more slower pace. I'll stop and take notes, and I'll write it like in a separate document, and we'll try to like reiterate it as we go. But yeah, if you couldn't tell, today is Biomechanics Day! I have only 3 classes this semester, and Biomechanics just seems to be the most fun to talk about on stream, so this is probably my go-to. Trying to think of the other 2 classes. I actually haven't looked at them yet, so I can't say they're even interesting. So we'll kind of go from there. It's only day 1 for me, okay? Okay. Anyway, let me catch up with chat. Life will be good, and then we'll get started, okay? Okay. Hi, Robo. Hi, welcome. Let's go. Thank you again for dealing with me with my very out there schedule. Hopefully maybe tomorrow I can also stream, but I might be studying. On Thursday for sure we'll probably play a game because how do you say it? It's my day off! Yay! Bachi. Again, I'm so sorry I didn't have my schedule up this week. I actually did not see what my work schedule was for this week, so I'm like, can't plan streaming if I don't know my work. So yeah, it's gonna be guerrilla streams kind of. Hi Ma, hi, hello, welcome. Hi Marshall, hi, welcome. LMG, hi. Hey Tippa, hey LMG, hi, welcome. I'm speaking in caps without like blowing your ears out. But hello, welcome. Hi Sunny, hi, welcome. Hi Tips, are we singing the Madagascar version of I Like to Move It? We are! You know, I actually never got to watch the Madagascar movie. Am I a fake Madagascar fan? Should I not make this reference? You know, this dance is also actually in the Fortnite store a few days ago, so maybe it was just a big giant sign. But hello, welcome. Hi Tamakai, hi! Thank you for rolling on in, I appreciate ya. Welcome. Robo says I can't wait to meet Biomechanics Man. There he is! Look at him! This man is buff! Imagine this is your first PowerPoint that you open to. I actually miss like very wacky zany PowerPoints because the last 2 semesters were very like, did we even have PowerPoints? So wait, so for someone to create really wacky ones like this, it's always like really fun to look at and see. But yeah, he's such a Chad, right? One big boy, the biggest boy. Biomechanics? Heck yeah, I was gonna say the other word. Heck. Hi Sally, hi, welcome. KJ, hi, welcome. Hello. Hi Salik. There's always tomorrow. True, there is always tomorrow. I see you and Faust here, so let me give you both a shout out really quick. Ta-da. But yeah, I can't always do that excuse because, you know, then I'll be like, oh, there's always tomorrow, and then I get nothing done today, which sucks. I don't want that to happen. Even though, again, like I said, it's 3 classes, I don't want to get too behind. I have class this weekend, so I have to have at least a vague idea what the heck is going on with this class, at least. Maybe. Well, good thing I have the love and support of my classmates, teehee. Hi, co-hosted by Doom Guy today. I said yes. Honestly, Doom Guy and what was the other guy? The Ark guy. The Ark survival guy. Everyone's co-hosting today. Robo says there's always tomorrow until tomorrow's today. Exactly, and I only have such limited time, so let's not procrastinate. Hi Dia, hi, welcome. This looks like a class to learn the anatomy of a Giga Chad. That's awesome, right? Honestly, not to sound so morbid, but like when you have really big buff guys like this, even if it's over exaggerated, it's really cool to see like, whoa, the muscle, the definition, wow. Hi K-Dog, hi, thank you for the hydrate redeem. I will politely hydrate. I have my giant water bottle, my Giga Chad water bottle, but this time, straw time. Thank you for the hydrate, I appreciate you. Thank you. If you don't mind me, like I said earlier, I have lots of snacks here, so if you hear me snacking during like a Pomodoro or something, please forgive me. Atomic says taking coffee and then a nap? Yes, that's the secret, because coffee won't hit you immediately unless it does. For me, it takes like a small minute or so, so taking like a 20-minute nap and then waking up refreshed is actually really the nicest. K-Dog says, let's go. Tippy, you got this. Remember, I'm engineering. Oh, heck, so you're basically vaguely familiar with biomechanics. You're familiar with the mechanics, but maybe not so much of the bio side. So together we form biomechanics. Yay! 3 classics: biomechanics, mechanical biology, and biological mechanisms. I don't want to do all that. I'm too lazy. I don't want to think of the future classes. But yes, I will have the best focus time. Thank you for joining. I appreciate ya. The thing about tomorrow is that's always there but never comes. I hope it comes. I want to live a nice life and not spend my last few moments, what do you call it, always worrying about bearcat school. Boo. Anyway, let's see. Let us get started. So I'm so sorry, the size ratio, the size resolution, etc. is a little bit wonky. I'm putting this all in one screen. Half of it I have like my little Google Doc to take notes, but I've already taken notes for this, so I don't really have to stop too much. And my professor wrote like little notes onto the PowerPoint, so we'll kind of go over that as well. But let's talk about biomechanics, okay? So as most of you are familiar with like the mechanical aspect of like movement and such, but bio is going to refer to the idea of movement of life. So let's move on to this slide. Ta-da! We're going like super baby basics because again, like I said, it's my first week, so let's understand this and then we'll kind of build up throughout the semester, and hopefully by the end of the semester, if I keep doing biomechanical study streams, you too will become biomechanical master. I don't know if this is a class I'm going to learn about the gate cycle again, so if you were there like a few semesters ago about gate cycle, then woo-wee, refresher. If not, there's definitely a class. It's either like movement science or musculoskeletal. But yeah. Wow. So biomechanics is going to be the application of the principle of mechanisms to the study of the biological system. So basically what we said, pretty much like the movement of life. The reason why we want to study biomechanics is to understand the mechanical cause and effect relationships that are going to determine the motions of living organisms. So basically how we get up and stretch and go whoosh, or you know, how we walk, or how we swing our arm when we walk to have like that pendulum movement, or when we go reach our arm to move things. We need to understand, well, how's that exactly working? Movement is not just a simple I raise my arm. There's a lot of systems that are going to go into it. Movement is going to involve a lot of complex biological and mechanical interactions. So let's see. In the side notes right here, students often relate biomechanicals as just a part of physics, but it's really much more than that. It's an interdisciplinary science drawing from mathematics, physics, anatomy, and physiology. We study biomechanics to understand movement and use the biomechanical principles to improve and or to optimize human performance related to human movement. So mechanical is the cause and effect relationship? Yeah, basically. You have a reason, right? So as you cubs know, I am going into the field of rehabilitation, so our applications in rehabilitation is for understanding the kind of systems that we have, like the muscular system, the skeletal system, the joint system. All 3 of those are going to be responsible for our movement, but we also should understand some of the biomechanical aspects for cardiovascular system. Think about how our heart works and how it's just a one giant pump that is going to pump in and out oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, as well as the vessels involved. Also, to my own surprise in going over this PowerPoint, I was surprised to see that biomechanics can also apply to our nervous system, the peripheral nervous system to be exact. So kind of talked about this in our gross anatomy class maybe a few semesters ago. Remember, we have a central nervous system and a peripheral nervous system. Remember, our central nervous system is going to be like our brain and spinal cord, while the peripheral is, well, anything not central, everything out to the side that does not involve the brain or spinal cord. And it's interesting to see that biomechanics also has a play for that. And also our respiratory system, again, the inhalation and the exhalation of our lungs and the air and all that jazz. So yeah. Let's see this little side notes. Oh, basically it's just saying like, yes, even though it is important to focus on those first three, the muscle system, skeletal system, and joint system, we should also keep in mind that the other systems that we're going to go over later in this course, hopefully. So, biomechanics is a science. It's not really therapy in a sense that, hey, if I know how to move, I can do this. Biomechanics is just kind of one part to help with that application in case like you run into a scenario like, hey, I'm actually having pain with my neck and I'm not able to move it. Oh, well, I know biomechanics, so let me help you out. Like, no. Biomechanics is going to be our foundation. It's going to help us understand why maybe a tissue experiences stress and why musculoskeletal deformities just exist in the first place. So again, it's going to be our foundation, but in no way can we really do any like rehabilitation with this information alone. So pretty much the key of why we want to know biomechanics is that the more that you know about the mechanics producing the various stresses on the body and its parts, the more likely you'll be able to provide the correct intervention to alleviate unwanted pathomechanical stresses, to restore function, and to prevent unwanted deformities. So we can talk about the stresses such as any of the pain that you're having, function in case like, hey, I can't reach as far as I used to anymore, or maybe I'm having pain. Biomechanics can help with that if you understand the concept. And to prevent unwanted deformities, let's actually talk about like a really common thing with the forward head posture. You know how they're always like, oh, this generation with their phone, you know how we kind of lean over and constantly look at our phone. That kind of posture encourages like this forward head movement. I don't know if we had showed this before. Let me show you. Forward head movement. It's the idea that the more your head is away from like the center of your body, the heavier your head is. Let's see. Oh, this one's good. Let's go over here. I'm going to show you an example, K-Dog, for the deformities. Let me just see what this is. Why does this look like this? Hold on. So, an example, one of the muscular deformities you can have is forward head posture. Ignore yoga anatomy, blah blah blah. So normally your head is roughly about 12 pounds, right? But the more that we kind of hunch over and lean, maybe against like look at our phone or to look down, our head comes away from that center. There's like there's a particular name for it. It's something when we're talking about posture and the alignment of it. So I'm just gonna go with those really vague terms. So I apologize. The more that we get away from that line, oh my gosh, the plumb line. I think that's what it's called. Heck, your head gets quote unquote heavier. So if you kind of lean forward, it's gonna be 32 pounds, and like really forward. Think of like, you know, the elderly grandmas. Your head's gonna feel like 42 pounds, and again, it's gonna encourage that like hunchback posture. So be careful, okay? And I mean, it goes more than that. What happens is that it's not just, oh, your head goes forward. It's just because you're encouraging that behavior, and when you encourage that behavior, it's this upper cross syndrome thing, which I can only talk about vaguely. But basically it's the idea of like, oh, these muscles are tight and these muscles are loose, and this is why you have forward head posture, yada yada yada. Okay, that's not what we're talking about. That's just an example of a musculoskeletal deformity. Let's go back to biomechanics, okay? Alright. Wow. The next one's basically like, hey, evidence-based practice? Yes. It's really important just to always have like the most up-to-date knowledge of how we can improve as a profession and as the field, and there's always new data coming about, and especially with the new technology that we'll talk about a little bit later about some tools we can use to assess the biomechanics. But yeah, You're explaining right? Oh, I'm glad! But I'm just like, I don't really know enough. I'm just a student. I'm baby. I'm not even done with my first year yet. What is movement indeed? Exactly. The world may never know. Oh, now we know. I think it's really cute that they have like something like this. So, what is movement? So we're like, oh, well, I move every day. Even me just like talking to you, I'm like, oh, I'm moving my head, I'm bobbing around, I'm talking with my hands, my imaginary on-stream hands. But movement in particular, of how we're going to define it for biomechanics, is that it's a change in place, position, or posture relative to some point within the environment. So again, if I want to get up and like stretch, I am changing my motion. I am from sitting to standing. That is a change in position and posture, as I went from sitting to standing posture, and position being from the chair to out of the chair. So let me go on to the next one. This is the anatomy part that I'm really interested in, because mechanics forces, yes. We're gonna talk more about kinematics and kinetics, right? The two words are very similar, so I get them confused, but there's like dedicated slides to them that I personally have not got the opportunity to see yet, so but so let's talk about more about movement. So again, movement's a change in our in our position. Yes, position, place, or posture, right? So let's talk about the movement system and the movement system balance. Hi Shara, hi, welcome. So the movement system is going to consist of all the anatomical structures, physiological functions, the interconnections in between those two, and the interdependent parts that contribute to the change in positions of any component. I can't talk too much detail into this, but basically it's the idea of like, oh, it's not just sitting to standing. It's, oh, maybe you were in a flex trunk position and now you're in slight extension when you stand up, and then your legs are going from flexion to extension as well because you're standing up, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So it's considering all of that. While the movement system balance is going to be the optimal function of all contributing elements and structures, resulting in precise arthrokinematics and osteokinematics. So arthro meaning like the joint kinematics, which I believe we'll talk about later in this class a little bit more. This is like in reference to how the joints are going to move, and the osteokinematics of like how our bones move. So let's see what the little bio says. The human movement system comprises the anatomical structures and physiological functions that interact to move the body or to component its parts. Blah, 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 blah. Often our goals in rehab is going to be surrounding the idea of assuring that all the parts of the system work well within the movement system, because if one part doesn't work, then that person may have trouble getting up. Like again, from the sitting to standing. Hey, if they're having knee pain or there's something wrong with them in that aspect, hey, they might have trouble from sitting to standing because of this pain. They may have trouble either with the extension part, or maybe they just have problems staying in that flex position. That's something we have to go and analyze to see, because they're not having that movement system balance. They're not having that optimal function if the anatomical structure is giving them the issue. Oh no, again, I took notes on this one, so I'm not stopping to take notes. I'm not stopping to take notes. The other place, though, I will be taking notes. The other PowerPoints, I promise. So let's see. So other few definitions that we're going to talk about a little bit more, especially in this PowerPoint, is going to be a rigid body and non-rigid body, which is also known as something that could be deformed or deformable. So a rigid body is going to be a body that does not deform by bending, stretching, or compressing when a force is applied to it. While a non-rigid body, again non meaning not, is going to be a body that deforms by bending, stretching, or compressing when a force is applied to it. So we see like the billiard balls right here, you know, when you hit it with the little stick. I'm sorry, I don't really play pool. My only experience with it is like playing in VR chat. And even then I'm like, bro, I suck at that. Yeah, the little stick and you hit the ball. Obviously when you hit it, it's like there's like a little indent into like the billiard balls. It's just kind of just goes. While in this example we see here with the vaulting the pole, you see that pole is definitely bending right there. It's definitely bending, stretching and compressing when this force is applied, as you see the person's digging in and they're using their force to like whoop, vault over. Hi potatoes, hi. Stop guilting me into studying. Hey, I'm not guilting you into anything. I had to study no matter what, so I decided to stream my study. But if you need to study stuff, feel free to hang out and chill. If you really do need to study, I can do a little Pomodoro timer and we can study together and we can take breaks and yada yada yada. Yeah. I should probably do a Pomodoro, but I think I'm just gonna take it one PowerPoint at a time so I don't spend too much time. As much as I like taking like lots of little mini breaks, again, me streaming helps encourage me to like stay on topic, so and I really want to try to see if I can finish this coursework today, so tomorrow I can focus on my other 2 classes that I haven't looked at it. But thank you, K-Dog, I appreciate you. Thank you. So why is this important? So pretty much what happens is that when we analyze movement, we basically are going to understand that we have to do 2 major tasks. We have to first describe the motion of the body, and the second, we have to understand the forces that are going to be acting on it. So really, the body that we're going to analyze that's doing the motion, we have to define it as, is it rigid or non-rigid? Does it deform under a force or does it not? So when you apply a force to a bone, the lower leg or foot, we know that these structures are not absolutely rigid structures and they can indeed deform, you know? But, well, no body's completely rigid. Basically, to simplify the process and when we talk about biomechanics, we're going to really talk about the body as a whole as something that is rigid, which sounds a little strange because we know our body can be relatively flexible. But again, for simplification purposes, our body is rigid. Easy, lemon, squeezy. Alright, so let us move over. So for biomechanics, we can understand the field of biomechanics is going to be broken down into 3 different branches of mechanics to allow the study of different systems in specific circumstances. So we have the mechanics of fluid, mechanisms of rigid bodies, and the mechanisms of deformed bodies. But going back, the musculoskeletal biomechanics is going to be divided into the body system. So all those systems that we're talking about in that like plain slide, which is like our skeletal, neurological, remember the peripheral nervous system, again, not necessarily the nervous one, the peripheral one only, and the muscular system. And then we go into mechanics, and that's where we have those 3 divisions broken down. Pretty much in this course, there's going to be an emphasis that will be more to the rigid bodies right here, and the deformable bodies. We won't really talk about the fluids too much, but I'm sure you cubs have maybe heard about synovial joint fluids and yada 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 yada. Yeah, maybe not. We won't focus on that though. You're okay. There's fluids in my bodies? God, I hope so. You know, your body's composed a lot of water, you know? So there's a high composition of water in your body. I hope there's some fluids in there. So remember, when we refer to body, I know we're talking always about the human body, but the body, anytime we refer to in this biomechanics, can be the body, or it can refer to specific limb segments such as like the thigh, the forearm, or a foot. It's really important to make sure we have that definition because we want to understand what we're analyzing. So let's see. And again, I know we had talked about the oversimplification of the human body being rigid, but we have to also understand that many of our muscles, ligaments, tendons, cartilage, etc. actually are going to change shape during that movement, so they're non-rigid. Remember, because our muscles have to lengthen, or the ligaments or tendons have to lengthen or bend or compress. And we can model these as deformable bodies if we explore like specific tissue, but again, we're going to keep it general. Food? I think I heard of it. What? Did I sound like I said food instead of fluid? Heck. Anyway, so going from there, again, since we're focusing again on rigid and deformable bodies, we can actually split this into kinetics and kinematics. So, kinetics is going to be focused on the forces of what forces do or do not act on the body, and while kinematics is going to refer to just describing the motion. So this is actually going to be a super fun activity. So this one I definitely have to read off the little about, so please forgive me, okay? So kinematics, like we just said, is going to be describing movement, but really it's just not that simple. So kinematics is going to be a subcategory of mechanics. In this course, kinematics involves both the quality and the quantity description of movement or motion in the body. So qualitative in a sense that we're going to put numbers to it, and quantity as in we're going to put like a descriptor to it. So when you observe and measure how a body moves, you can visually note its position, how far it travels, and even its speed. Is it walking? Is it running? What is it doing necessarily? You might even know whether it appears to be slowing down or speeding up. These parameters involved the body moving are the components of the kinematic analysis. You have quantified the motion you are observing by considering its position, the distance, and speed. Gotta scroll for this one. However, human movements can appear deceptively simple until we specifically analyze the task. Rarely do the movements we observe in even the simplest activities of daily living involve straightforward kinematics. So movements that appear simple are often composed of coordinated interrelationships of multiple bodies moving at the same time. So okay, this is my fun, wacky example. Using the tip of your index finger, as you see in this picture provided, trace a straight line across a piece of paper, or even just like on your desk, from right to left. Only use your index finger and nothing else. No other part of your arm, so don't like start raising your arm or anything. Just like, okay, can I do this? And it's like, what did you observe? Ooh! If you only used your finger, you did not create a straight line. The line you created was curved and, well, rather short because you only have such limited motion with just your index finger alone. Now, try to do the same thing, except this time, keep your index finger from moving, but utilize only the wrist motion to trace out a straight line. So with that, now you have a little bit more range of motion. The line should be longer, but the line is still going to be curved. Now, try to include your arm and shoulder into the mix. So basically, if you only just have your arm and shoulder doing the motion, hey, you even have more range of motion, so your line's going to be even longer, but it's still going to be curved. But to finally actually trace a straight line, you need to utilize a coordinated movement of more than one joint. So you need to get the finger involved, you need to get the wrist involved, and you need to get your arm and shoulder involved to try to get that straight line. So even something as simple like that is going to, again, appear simple, but as you saw, it's a coordinated system of linked segments. Again, our finger, our wrist, and our arm and shoulder. To accurately describe this motion, we use kinematics to describe, again, the position, the distance, or even the speed of the segment, especially, like, for example, tracing that line. We started where our starting position from the right to the left, and yada 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 yada. Yeah. Oh no, this one's also wordy. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Before we can understand, interpret, and/or alter motion in someone with a clinical problem involving movement, we should be able to accurately describe it mechanically. Again, kinematic analysis can be either qualitative or quantitative, and let's look at what these two terms actually mean. A qualitative kinematic analysis of the coordinated movement involving your tracing activity is a non-numerical description based on your visual observation. Really fancy to say again, quantitative is going to be our... Wait. Oh, I misread, I'm so sorry. Again, quality. It's going to be our non-numerical description based on the visual observation. Again, no numbers involved. It's just like, yep, they moved right to left in a slightly curved line. So it says in this case, you could have described the movement as what you observed. This is going to get super fancy. At the empty piece of like your knuckle. joint of the index finger, the wrist. It gets really in detail. I'm sorry, Cubs. But qualitatively, you could also generally have analyzed the motion and whether the movement was smooth, uncoordinated in appearance, etc. These are all qualitative descriptions of movements observed. So again, quality. In a quantitative kinematic analysis of this activity, the movement is analyzed numerically based on the data from measurements collected during the task. So there are benefits to the clinician who are doing quantitative movement analysis. Quantitative analysis involves the use of numbers, and this can both increase the precision and objectivity of the description. Excuse me. This is also really important as well because maybe you're not always going to be the clinician with that patient. So to provide like an objective measure and to also be like, hey, this is how much this person improved. If tracing a line was something we used to perform rehabilitation, that's some task they had to do. Let's say, oh, they were only able to do this for what, like 5 inches. Oh, well, you know, we did our sessions, we helped improve this range of motion, we increased their strength, yada yada yada. A few weeks later, hey, look, now they're able to double it and do like 10 inches. It's like that kind of stuff that we're gonna be focusing on, and hopefully getting that quantitative again makes it more objective in that sense. To do this, we need a sensible frame of reference to help us interpret the numerical data, and we'll look at this more in the next section. So again, this is going to be one PowerPoint out of the 5 that we have to go over. Also, even though it might be a little kind of bit wacky to get some quantitative data, technology is going to help us actually perform the quantitative analysis in most settings. So we're actually going to talk about that in the next slide. Ta-da! Val says my brain is pog for calculating all that movement. Let's go! I love a brain being pog. Kabla, hi, Kinemasters edition, let's go! Hi, welcome. Do I want water? Sure, I take it. I'm not used to speaking for like paragraphs at a time. I mean, it feels like it, but I'm not used to it. Maybe in another life I would become a professor. Right now, I have to get through the student business. Sorry. Okay. I'm alive. I'm hydrated. Alright, next slide. So let's talk again more about the quantitative kinematic analysis. So this is actually super cool that we're able to use technology to help analyze these sort of things. So look at this gait pattern right here and seeing how this person walks. This video has music. Did I mess up my thing a little bit? But you see how the machine is getting the plumb line of the person and how it's following throughout their whole entire gait cycle. I know they're running in this case, but basically, gait is still like the pace of how you're moving through. It's like walking but faster. So they have this. Oh no, they even have forward. Let's go! But they have like the sternum. They have like the iliac crest, or maybe that's more of the ASIS. They have the knee, and then they have in between the malleolus, so in between like your ankles. So it's really cool to see that because that's all. So when we talk about posture, I keep mentioning this thing called like a plumb line, right? And that plumb line is going to be, how do you say it? A kind of guideline of how we should keep ourselves aligned. So let's see if we can put this here. What's this picture? Oh, this thing? Hold on. Thank you for the headpad. Thank you. Hi, sir. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for being what's up for 20 hecky months. Tippa study. Welcome, welcome. I hope everything's super well. Thank you for your continued support for 20 whole hecky months. I appreciate you very, 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 very much. Thank you. Return the gate cycle? Yes, let's go. But yeah, this is like the pump cycle, and this is basically a replication of what we pretty much see on the right with this person moving from the side. You see how we're gonna have this one's not as I mean, it's not that it's not accurate, but this one doesn't have like the dots. But you have like your center of gravity, and then again we have like a mark at the hip joint, which we could see here. We have through the shoulder, which we see here. And if this was a relatively straight line, we would have it going through the earlobe. But we have here, we have the midline through the knee, as we see in this plumb line image. And then we have through the center of the ankle joint, so we see it right here. Wow. So let me put this back. So there's different ways to do this. These are just going to be two different tools. This one on the left is going to be using a smartphone basically, while the other one's like some high-tech medical technology. Wow, amazing. Oh no, it's a little slow. Yeah, I'm trying to roll. I'm trying to do as great as I can. Whoa, this man is running backwards. Okay, but as you see that there are lines getting detected from this application to be like, okay, this is their posture and this is how it's going. And hopefully the data that they're actually gathering are going to be quantitative on like a separate screen. They wouldn't just show you that and be like, alright, good luck. Pay attention or we'll flunk the test and Tippo will let us in the call. Hey. We don't talk about the cold or non-cold things. No. Everyone's always invited. It's always a party. the more the merrier. But I won't flunk the test. It's only the second day of school. If I flunk it, oh God, help me all. Alright. So, the purpose of these two things that I've been showing you was again to gather quantitative data, so numerical data. One benefit to video recording analysis comes from its ability to follow the activity over repeated cycles. So it's the whole, yes, they could run once, but they're not going to be one and done. We're going to see how that kind of goes and average out the data, etc, etc. Also, being able to record is going to help us view it in slow motion to see, hey, is there any discrepancies? There's some people I follow who do rehab, and one, an influencer, I guess. She was doing the gait cycle, and she was doing something similar to the right that we were seeing, and pretty much she's like, my hip drops when I run, and I'm like, oh, that's actually really interesting to see. You wouldn't be able to see that normally. It looks like she's running just fine, but when you slow it down, it's like, oh my gosh, your hip is going down. Heck, how can we fix that, you know? You can also view these things frame by frame. Pasha Shep, thank you. Pepe, hi, hey yo, welcome back. We're just studying a little bit of biomechanics, so don't mind me. the more people we can sacrifice and me make happy. Wait, again, don't say that out of context. It sounds like awful. It sounds awful to be like, oh yeah. Sir says all the more reason to do your best. I'm always doing my best. That's the secret. A half booty wink. I'm sorry. Hold on. It's actually getting a little bit dark, so let me see. Have I turned on my light? Yay. This looks like something I'll be studying in a few years. What are you studying, if you don't mind me asking? Are you also gonna go into rehab? Because if so, welcome! Save yourself. Go away. Politely lurk. Wait till it's your time. Don't study early. Enjoy your youth. Sorry. Probably not. Shouldn't say that. But very small segment as I fixed myself from that posture check. Even though I had like those 2 weeks off from like bearcat school from the summer semester to the fall, everyone's like, you know, maybe you should go get ahead and get started with the classes. Like, nope, when it gets there, it gets there. My career is oh my gosh, why can't I say it? Kinesiology. And yeah, I think our careers are basically the same. Let's go! You know, honestly, my biggest regret in my undergrad, unfortunately, wasn't that I didn't actually major in kinesiology. And thankfully for my graduate career, you don't need that. I wasn't like out there like, oh, I was a business major and I decided to go into rehab. It was just the idea of like, damn. I really couldn't do anything with my bachelor's. The only thing I could do with my bachelor's is get into grad school, and if I didn't get into grad school, I would be absolutely hecked. That's why I'm envious of the other people who maybe went like the athletic trainer route or like did major in kinesiology, and I'm just like, God, I hope I get into this grad school. I could talk about my whole forever 17 years of life and basically go on like, oh, to make sure I got into grad school, I actually took a gap year and I retook classes and blah blah blah, so I'm happy to where I am now. And I shouldn't like complain because, you know, there are many other people who wish to be in my position and other people are not able to, but I'm just like, but what if it didn't work? It's currently working, but like, what if it didn't? Anyway, that's me complaining. But I'll try to enjoy my youth while studying. Don't worry, please do. Please enjoy your life. My career is a total of 8 years, but plus that gap year and plus other shenanigans, it's like 10. So yes. K-Dog says I would enjoy youth, but I'm already getting OTIPy, but finishing my university, and so waiting for the results. You're finishing? Let's go! Congratulations, K-Dog. Honestly, as much as I joke about youth, I consider like my perception of age has like changed a lot. Like in the sense I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought getting into your 30s was old. Not that I'm in my 30s. But not that getting into your 30s is bad either. But you know, like when I was much younger, I'm like, oh my gosh, 30 is so old. Now I'm just like, yeah, I think when I hit 70, I'm gonna consider myself a little bit older. But for now, I'm gonna enjoy my favorite 17 years of life. Yeah. You can do it, I guess. I'm already here, I might as well, you know? Then you'll be a professor. I'm so excited to like graduate, go a few years down the line, think, hey, I actually heck my career, I just want to teach anatomy, and then be happy. You know, but I heard my professors make like serious bank. I mean, not that you should go into a career for money, you should go for passion, but I was surprised to hear that they make, you know, like 6 figures, and I'm like, oh boy. You know, because you hear a lot of like heckery with teachers in America and blah 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 blah. Huh? Now's not the time for existential dread? It isn't. It's only the first week of bearcat school. No existential dread. Oh. Huh? I'm near 30 but still tiny. Let's go! Where am I? Happy belated birthday! Jesus, congrats. Damn, I need to do higher education too. Honestly, no rush to higher education. If you have the means to always pursue higher education, I am slightly biased. I'm like, yeah, go live out your dreams. But I know a lot of people are not able to necessarily do that. Like, I have a friend right now who she's kind of stuck in a full-time job, and she's like, I kind of want to change. She wants to go into technology. So I'm like, you know what would be a really good path for you that I've heard a lot of people do? You could take like a certification online and become like an IT support, or like, you know, any of those like Google certifications. I've heard pretty like decent and good reviews, and people have gotten decent money from it, and even people have done career changes through those certifications. So, you know, it's really never too late to A, get a higher education, B, work on something little by little, or C, whatever works best for you. But yeah, everyone could take it at their own pace, you know. Pippa says 8 years. You know, before I enrolled into my current career, I studied architecture 3 years, and this one is 5 years. So enjoying my first year so far. Let's go! Oh my goodness, that's such like a dramatic jump. I'm kind of like, tell me your life story. What inspired you? I'm curious, but I'm like, if it's like a TMI, do not worry. I'm just one of those people who, again, a lot of my family was all medical, so it's just like, oh, I think the only career change I had was when I was in 5th grade. And it's like, I wanted to be a vet, and then I learned vets only put down animals more than take care of them. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna physical therapy. Anyway, but you're forever 17, youngest bearcat graduate ever. True. So true, sir. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna be the absolute youngest. Everyone's gonna be like, wow, Tipa, you're so smart. I'm like, thank you, I guess. It's a fake it till you make it, or I'm sorry, believe until you can achieve mentality that I have. Marshall says, I'm living proof that you don't need a higher education. I have depression and no money. Let's go! Depression and no... I'm so sorry, Marshall. Dude, again, everyone takes life in their own pace. I'm just, again, like I said, advocate for higher education, but obviously I know not everyone has the means. And I'm not saying I have the means either, as I am $60,000 in debt from school. Thank you, undergrad and graduate school. Thank you, I guess. That's a later Tipanya problem when I graduate. What it is. But I hope, Marshall, you do find something that you are passionate about and that you're able to get out of any rut that you get into. I'll fight your depression for you. Oh, depression's got hands. Oh. Anyway, come on, says UTA. Gosh, I wish I had applied for tutoring for the gross anatomy, where it focuses on upper extremities, but I got denied, which I don't blame them on why I got denied, because there was no first year to teach it to. But I was like, damn, my self-esteem. And I was gonna apply again, but then I got really selfish. I'm like, actually, I don't want to teach the first years. I don't want to teach these newcomers. If I see them, I'll support them, but I don't want like a dedicated schedule to help tutor them, because I don't know how comfortable I'll feel this semester. I heard this is going to be one of the harder ones, just because even though it's just 3 classes, again, it's just a lot of content. So boo. K-Dog says, thank you, Tippy. While your support and others, I couldn't be able to finish the degree. Wait, I'm pretty happy doing 3D modeling. Oh wait, no, that's K-Dog. That's OMG. I'm sorry, you're both yellow. I can't read. K-Dog says, thank you, Tippy. Well, wait, you're finishing your degree, right? So are you saying like this semester is gonna be like your last semester, or this semester is your last semester, or was last semester your last one? Either way, if you're finishing, congratulations. I'm actually so proud. super proud. Honestly, I'm a big advocate of always taking care of yourselves, and if it wasn't for you, you wouldn't get this far, basically. Andre says, I'm pretty happy doing 3D modeling. I want to continue that, but also get higher education while going so high that I have to manage people. I feel the same way at my current job. I have a lot of expertise and experience of what I want to do, and they're like, hey, Tippa, you want to become a supervisor? You get supervisor money. And I look and I'm like, there's a lot of stresses that I don't really want to deal with. I'm just a part-timer. I'm a part-timer while balancing school. I just want to be here. I want to do the most minimal effort while with getting paid still, and still being like, wow, Tippa, you do so good at your job. I'm like, thank you. You want to be promoted and do more work? No, it's fine. Not for 25 cents more. I'll take the 25 cents downgrade. But Pepe says, architect gave me depression. I didn't like it, so I changed careers because I like working out, helping other people. Uwu, let's go! Wow, I'm actually really sorry to hear about the architect thing. At least you were able to try it, because honestly, that's what's important. You were able to try it, you had a passion for it, or maybe you still have a passion for it, but you understand, hey, this is not going to work out, and what's going to help you out in the long run is doing this career change, and hopefully you are much happier in where you are, even if it is just like, again, your first year and all that. But honestly, I think getting into this field of kinesiology and all that is like a super fun and rewarding career where you get to meet lots of people people. There's a lot of flexibility in where you can go, like job field, clinical setting wise. That's what I mean. So I hope you have lots of fun with it. And if not, you can always go the AT route. Athletic trainer, let's go! One of my previous coworkers, when I used to work at the hospital, did that, and oh my gosh, I was so jealous. So I was like, oh, I can't, I can't. Wow. K-Dog says you'll see it by September 13th. Oh my god, that's right around the corner. That's 7 more days. Let's go! Let's go! Oh, I'm super excited. I hope you hear very good results and have like a little mini celebration for yourself, honestly. 25 whole cents? Where do I sign up? Well, if you come to Bearcat Mountain, oh boy, are we hiring. That's such a mood. I wouldn't want that either. Yeah, exactly. Pepe says the only thing about architecture are the disciplines I gain on my friends. Wholesome, hello? Well, at least there's a few good things that came out of it. I'm honestly happy for you. What the heck? I'm like my heartwarm meter plus 10. Thank you for your kind words. Of course, no problem. Oh, you got... Kiddo, go to your graduation. If you are done, you are done. Sorry, this is going to be a small tangent about graduation. The only graduation I've done so far is like, high school graduation. I never went to my undergrad graduations because, I don't know. I didn't want to do the graduation ceremony if I knew I wasn't done. Which sounds really silly. Also, I mean, like, what am I going to do? Sit there and wait a few hundred people and be like, Tipanya, like, man, my last name's in the end, Tipanya. I'm somewhere here in the middle. No. In all seriousness, I'm very excited to the point where I can also like finally do graduation and like feel like, oh my gosh, all my hard work done. Da-da. Andre says I want to be an architect or the lower version that only draws stuff, but I never got the apprenticeships. But I'm glad to be a design engineer now. Let's go! Things always kind of work out in a weird, indirect way, but if you're still able to apply for the apprenticeship and if it doesn't conflict with what you have now, feel free to always try again. Sometimes it's kind of like time and place, unfortunately, with these like internships, but yeah. Positivity, let's go! Sorry. I got on a thing. I'm so sorry. We're supposed to be talking about quantitative kinematics. Hey, look, listen. Numbers. Alright. Next slide. So, hey, what are the other benefits to kinematic analysis? So pretty much it's going to serve as a major component of a standard PT evaluation, including movement assessment. So remember, we're going to see about the quality. These are the same words. Anyway, it's just again making sure that you're going to assess the quality and the quantity of the movement and pretty much kind of going from there and pretty much trying to establish a baseline and then going through your intervention and see how they are improving from there. Did I move this? Hold on. I don't remember the black bar being there. I'm so sorry. One moment. Slightly cropped. Okay, back to work. Oh, please have a good one, K-Dog. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. Thank you. Good luck with work. Oh, wait, me back to work? Never mind, I misread. I can't read. Alright, back to work. So, kinetics, not kinematics. Kinetics is going to be the study of the relationship between the motion or motions of a body, which again is the object, can be the actual human body or a specific part that we talk about like the arm, leg, etc., and the forces that are going to act upon them. Now this is a slide, I know, when I saw this I'm like, oh my gosh, the professor is so cute. I love when they do fun wacky stuff like this. So what is the study of relationship between the motions of a body and the forces acting upon them? So we have to think about like what forces are involved with shoulder flexion. Shoulder flexion is pretty much bringing your arm up. As you bring your arm up, what are the forces that are going to act on it? Gravity. They're like, list 10? Gravity. Anyway, The little description below is like, kinetics is a subcategory of mechanics that involves identifying and interpreting the forces that act on the body to cause motion. While we'll take a closer look of kinetics in next week's courses or next week's course load, we need to understand that the forces are pushes and pulls exerted on one body by another. So we cannot see forces, but we can observe their effects on the body. A kinetic movement analysis attempts to examine the forces acting on the body, and since again we cannot see these forces, kinetic analysis requires that we measure the effects of forces using instrumentation. Hi Sarah, hi, welcome. Welcome, when the Tipanya, what? Sorry, I feel like that was a little obnoxious. What? Welcome. We had a huge talk break. I know, I'm so sorry. I love like side conversations. Not that I hate studying. No, never. I don't hate studying. But I don't know, it's always fun to have like little side tangents, and it's always fun to see like people coming in. It's like, hey, how's it going? And then they're like, I have an interest in this. I'm like, whoa, you do? Let's go, you know? I think it's always fun. But I'm gonna get through what I want to get through. Remember, I have very high endurance in studying. It's just, I have to make sure I do it. Again, I just want to get through these PowerPoints. And we're almost done with this one, so yay. So, we must not only understand the forces involved in the movement of a body, but there are also forces participating in the maintenance of positions of a body or posture when there's no movement actually occurring. So basically, like, hey, even though we're sitting, we're like, ooh, gravity, you know? Gravity's still acting on us, even though we're not actively moving. We're just sitting here chilling. Chilling like a villain. So it's really important to identify forces that cause emotion, or those forces that help maintain a posture, to provide important mechanical information for determining the potential interventions needed to improve or restore normal movement and posture. Blah, what a mouthful. So these are also some fun other tools that they can use in a clinic. So they can do the force plates, they can track the pressure mats, like, oh, no, what happened? No! Pressure mats to see like, hey, how are you walking and how much pressure are you applying here? And they can use like a little walkway to also assess like gait patterns, and also to see like, how are you walking, and are you going through this whole cycle, and are you applying your force, etc, etc. This is something we'll talk about more again with the next week in week 2. So, biomechanics is an evidence-based clinical practice. So, pretty much this is a whole list. Let's actually read the little description first, and then we'll go down through the list. Oh, you're going to sleep? Oh, heck, I forgot it's so late. I'm so sorry. Please have a good night, and sweet dreams. Thank you for stopping by, LMG. Please have a good one, okay? Have a good night. Bye. Wow. Whoa, these have been voiced over this whole time?
While accurately quantifying human movement can be a difficult task, the use of biomechanical and
I'm sorry, Professor, I don't like your voice too much. You sound tired. I will politely continue reading the little description. Wow. While accurately quantifying human movement can be a difficult task, the use of biomechanical analysis allows a clinician a method to support their assessment and intervention strategies. As a profession that in large part surrounds its interventions around movement, it is clear that understanding the basic mechanisms of disease alone cannot fully guide the clinician treating design of movement disorders. So basically, like, oh, this person has this, well, it can be more than that. We can't just assume on surface level, because not every disorder and disease is the same, and not everyone's upbringing is necessarily the same. Additionally, our movement assessment measurements must be reproducible. So again, like we were saying, getting that quantitative data to make it objective. So again, if you're not the clinician that's going to practice with this patient next time, and you got their baseline and now we want to see the results a few weeks after, it's important to make sure that test that you had them do earlier is reproducible, to see if there's this meaningful guide to see, hey, was our intervention effective and have they improved in what they needed to do. So a big example that might be pretty common, maybe something you cubs may suffer from, which I hope not. So I'm sure you cubs are familiar with your shoulder, and you hear it called, or you may have heard it called, like the rotator cuff muscle. So a lot of times, especially like older folks, maybe a patient will come to you presenting with inflammation involving the rotator cuff musculature. So again, all the muscles that we have in our shoulder, minus the deltoid, I don't know. And basically they have a limited ability to lift their arm overhead. So we're talking about the arm flexion that or shoulder flexion we were talking about earlier, putting that arm or hand, both I guess, overhead. They're having issues because of all the inflammation. It's making it difficult to them. So as clinicians, we should be able to test for the state of the inflammatory condition and implement our assessment procedures involving movement of the involved limb segments. We need to understand, to understand why there is an inability to lift the arm, we must first understand the motions we observe and quantify the specific movement impairments. Like, okay, they're not able to do it full range. Can we get our handy dandy goniometer that we've been talking about all last semester and see, hey, if they're not within normal range, what is their normal degrees? What is normal to them right now with the inflammation, and how can we improve this later? Again, using that goni and being able to do or test for range of motion is going to be super important, because then again, that's going to be something reproducible, and we can check them later after we apply the intervention to see again, have they improved. So again, while they're doing that motion, we have to observe the motion, quantify again that specific movement, and understand these forces that are going to be involved in these motions. Hey, maybe the inflammation is so bad this person's not able to go against gravity, but maybe if we lay them down and ask them to do the same motion and we're doing a gravity eliminated position, maybe they're able to do this a little bit better. Again, these are a lot of things we just need to like analyze and see, and then go from there to see what is the best intervention for this patient. So let's read through this list really quick. I don't think I read this during my first time, so big hack. So biomechanical analysis. Number 1, understanding complex movement behaviors. 2, improving performance of an ADL or specific task. ADL is going to be activity of daily living. So whether you're buttoning up your pants or shirt, brushing your teeth, being able to do these kind of tasks are your activities of daily living. 3, optimal rehabilitation technique and training. 4, identify safer techniques involved with the ADL. So, hey, maybe you're not able to do this specific motion, but you still need to live and continue your life, even if you may have this kind of condition. How can we improve it? Another thing we have to do is reduce injury risk. Let's say, hey, you're a baseball player, and you're like, ow, my rotator cuff. I'm like, maybe you should take a small break from pitching, you know? See about prescription and optimizations of orthotic and prosthetic devices. So, what's a good example? So sometimes when older patients, they don't have to be older, I'm sorry. A patient decides to get knee surgery. Sometimes when they have knee surgery, their knee, to provide a little bit relief, it's always in a slightly bent position. Even if you have them long sitting. So let's say like their butt is on the table, they're propping their trunk or torso up with their hands, and their legs are just stretched out. That's what we call long sitting. Even though one leg may be straight, the leg that may be affected is slightly bent. So sometimes like a orthotic or one of these other kind of medical assistive equipment devices can be placed there to help encourage them to not flex as much, to kind of basically help them extend their knee and go from there. Let's see. Occupational task efficiency, so how well we can do a task and how efficient we can do it without exerting ourselves. Occupational injury prevention, so if there's anything we could do to prevent or either or further aggravate the condition. and sport performance and return to sports. So that's very like in particular. Again, let's say for example, this rotator cuff person in baseball. After we go through all this, hey, let's see what their performance is and see, hey, are they safe to return to this? Blah. Summary. Biomechanics is just one of the many disciplines that helps therapists to answer the questions of movement, of what works and why. Biomechanical tools should be combined with tools from other disciplines to effectively provide intervention directed at movements and movement dysfunctions. So, yay! All the knowledge we're going to learn soon is all going to apply, and we're finally going to be able to help people who are maybe having trouble with certain things. Like, I honestly feel bad because I'm only in my first year, but I've had many people at like my job or friends around me who are like, my neck hurts, my back hurts, this hurts, and I'm just like, I can't help you. Place a heat pack and good luck. Good luck. Stretch. Have fun. Anyway. So remember, biomechanics, again, we're going to break down into those two basic areas of the kinematics and kinetics of human motion, which we should be talking about in future PowerPoints. And yeah, I think we're good. Let me see if I can switch over to this one moment. No, it wants me to open a whole new one. Hold on. What is this? And why does it look like this? Why is this one even like smaller? I didn't change the size of it. Well, alright. Let me take one quick sip of water. We're an hour and 14 minutes in. Let's go. An hour per PowerPoint. I'm gonna be here for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, baby. Cries, sips water, drowns sorrow in water. Oh no. Thank you, Kilog. I appreciate it. I will honestly keep trying my best and keep that in mind. So thank you. So let's talk about kinematics. Oh wait. Oh, I know why it looks so weird. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright. So pretty much again in this section we're going to expand about the branch of mechanics that deals with the description of both the spatial and temporal characteristics of motion that we described earlier as kinematics. Kinematics again is going to allow us as clinicians to describe the characteristics of the body movement relative to its displacement, its velocity, and acceleration. Boo! Physics! Boo! So let's classify some motion, okay? So motion can be either linear, so as it sounds, linear being in a straight line, angular, I don't know what they were trying to do here, angular, I'm not sure, I think something went missing. Oh, this picture here, yeah, this picture right here. So we can have linear, angular, or a general, which is going to be a combination of both the linear and angular. Classifying motion as linear, angular, or via combinations of linear and angular are going to allow us to mechanically analyze and describe human movements. So we ask someone again to walk in a straight line, bam, linear, angular, walk diagonal, bam. Combination, probably our normal walking pace of just kind of walking around, maneuvering maybe like around our home. Going around corners, trying to turn to the kitchen, all that stuff, you know? So the description says, oh wait, I'm supposed to be taking notes now too. Oh heck. Oh heck. Let me scroll down. Let me get this set up really quick. One moment. Excuse me. Classify motion. So again, we have our linear, we have our angular, and we have our general. Let me know if the clicking gets too annoying, or maybe it's just typing ASMR. So when we discuss motion of a body, we can simply define motion as a change in place or position of the body relative to a frame of reference. This frame of reference can be another object or a defined coordinate system. Our frame of reference should be sensible, in a sense that it serves to help us understand the motion and what we want to know about it. For our purposes, the motion of a body will be classified as either linear, angular, or combination. Angular motion of an object is defining its rotational motion, whereas linear describes a body's straight line motion. So I apologize, it's not necessarily going like diagonal. It's ooh, I can spin too. Woo! Oh no. I'm wheezing. Oh no! Politely dies over here in this corner and fixes myself. One moment. Let me see if I can. Whoop. Sorry about that. Let me get this. Let me set this back up. Sorry. No? Nothing? No? No! Oh, okay, I fixed it. I was like, no! Wow. No, it didn't fix itself! No! This is so sad. Oh well, I'll deal with the freezing. It's okay. That's fine. Anyway. Let's see. Classifying a body's motion as linear and angular simplifies both for a qualitative or quantitative kinematic analysis of body motion. So descriptions of human motion kinematics. So we're going to find three things: motion, human motion, and describing human motion. So motion, again, or movement, can be described as a change in place or position with respect to a reference point. A human motion is just a general combination of translatory and angular motions. Describing human motion is going to be via displacement oriented to cardinal planes around axes and related to velocities and the accelerations. So, in the little description that we have here, another term that describes linear motion of a rigid body is translation. These two terms are used interchangeably. Angular motion refers to rotation. Generally, in motions of the human body, there's rarely pure angular or linear motions occurring. Typically, human motions involving our limbs and trunk involve combinations of linear and angular motions, and these are referred to as general motions. So, linear motion, how do we describe it? Is it a straight line motion? That's what I was hoping. So take a look at this figure of a person running along the side of the road. Kinematically, is the motion we observe in the runner's translation or angular motion? What you might state is that it depends on what motions are being considered. The runner's whole body is moving linearly across the street, but the lower limbs and arms are undergoing rotations and translations. I suppose because, like we were talking about, when you walk in kind of like a pendulum? Wait. A pendulum, so I can see why that is resulting in rotations. Therefore, we can describe human motion. Therefore, we can describe it as the human motion, and it's really important to understand what type of motions are occurring. Okay. Translatory, motion in a straight line. So one of the key points that we want to understand is that all points of the object move the same distance over the same time. So what does this mean? Let's see. Let's define exactly what linear or translatory motion means. Translation is the motion of a body that occurs in a straight line or a curved line. To classify a body's motion as linear, that all parts of the body need to be moving the same distance in the same direction and at the same time. As we will see, during angular motion, all parts of the body are not moving at the same distance. Observe the pencil translating. This is a pencil? Okay. All parts of the pencils are moving the same distance exactly at the same time. If all parts of a body are moving at the same time in a straight line, this is called, how would you pronounce this? rectilinear motion. Rectilinear motion is perhaps the most basic of all motions. Okay. Let me put that on my little side. Ta-da. Oh, we're just making up names here. So I have curvilinear translation, parabolic paths traveled by objects. So it's going to be motion along a curved line or a path in which all parts of the system move together in the same direction over the same time. So similar to translation, except this is going to be in a curved motion. So they're using like a little globe, the Earth. They're using the Earth as an example. So in the little description it says, it seems intuitive that translation can only occur in a straight line. A variety of linear motion is termed curvilinear. When the motion of an object moves along a curved path, the motion can no longer be considered a rectilinear motion. This type of motion of a body that allows a fixed curved path is considered curvilinear. In curvilinear motion, all parts of the body are moving in the same distance, in the same direction, and at the same time, but all are following a fixed curved path. An example of a curvilinear motion is the motion of an airplane traveling from New York to San Francisco. The plane itself is moving in a straight line. All parts of the plane are moving in the same distance at the same time, but the plane is actually following the curve of the Earth's surface. In biomechanics, the humeral head, humeral head on the humerus, is translating anteriorly to posteriorly across the glenoid fossa and can follow the fixed curvatures of the glenoid and thus can be considered a curvilinear motion. Heck. Let me get that one in my notes too. Da, 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 da. So we talked about the two types of translations, the rectilinear or the curvilinear. Is it going in a straight line or is it going on a curved path? So here's going to be another way that we're going to look at it. So you see from here to here and then here to go whoop. Translation again is going to be when every line segment on the body or object is going to remain parallel to its original direction during movement. When all points move along a straight line, motion is going to be rectilinear translation, but when the paths are curved, motion is going to be a curvilinear translation. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, whoa, we're getting a little complicated here, huh? I appreciate it, I guess. Taster, hi, welcome. Yo, welcome. We're talking about biomechanics. Welcome to the study stream. So spatial frames of references. So this is a little bit of a woozy. So let's try to see if we can break it down a little bit. So attempting to describe the motion of a body accurately requires a spatial frame of reference. This frame of reference allows both the position and the direction of a body motion to be defined relative to a known location. Without a frame of reference, it would be hard to describe motion. Establishing a spatial frame of reference is arbitrary and depends on the characteristics of a motion being described. I can explain this picture. A reference frame is employed by the clinician or researcher to describe and or observe a motion effectively. When a clinician measures the amount the lower leg can move on the thigh when assessing knee flexion and extension motion, they establish a relative and sensible frame of reference between the long axis of the thigh and the long axis of the lower leg. This can establish the angle between the thigh and the lower leg segment. This type of spatial frame of reference is referred to as a relative reference frame, as its goal is to establish the position of the thigh relative to the lower leg. Oh no, it keeps going. Okay, let's see if we can break this down a little bit. One moment. So spatial frame of reference, they were talking about the long axis of the thigh and the long axis of the lower leg. So we know this is our thigh right here. This is our lower leg right here. We have our frame of reference right here, and they're going like an XY plane. X again being our horizontal, Y being more vertical, and going from there. And when they're talking about the knee flexion and extension, it's like, okay, knee extension is going to be the kicking out, getting your leg straight, and currently this knee is currently in knee flexion. So again, it's going to establish its position of the thigh relative to the lower leg when it does both motions. It's so many words! It really is! That's why I had to stop. I'm like, what is this saying? Hold on. The reason why it's important, basically the slide is like, hey, get your frame of reference. You need to establish that. And it's like, oh, okay, yes, here we go. We're talking about the lower leg. We're using XY planes. What is our reference plane for this? What is our reference plane for that? What are the two things we're trying to compare right now? What is the motion that we're trying to look at? And blah, 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 blah. Anyway. However, at times the clinician desires to understand the position of the thigh and the lower leg and relative to a fixed position that is not a part of the body but external to it. Oh, that's kind of interesting. For example, the clinician may want to understand the position of the lower leg in relation to the vertical or the ground itself. This type of spatial frame of reference is considered a global frame of reference. So using the earth, I assume, using the ground, yeah. Oh heck. Wait. Sorry, one moment. Kind of forgot something important. Forgot I have to charge my thing. If not, I will die. Not like actually die, but you know, inconveniently die. Alright. Good. Alright. So we talked about that being a global frame of reference. As we explore in the upcoming laboratory experience, we'll use a relative and global frame of reference to help us describe and then quantify the motion or motions we want to study. Okay. But what is relative? I guess relative would just be like what we're looking at more internally, with again more just the thigh and the lower leg, question mark. I'll come back with more information once we actually do have in-person class, because big heck. PTs use goniometers as a means to measure angles between limb segments such as the femur, tibia, or the humerus and forearm. Are these types of kinematic assessments using a relative or absolute frame of reference? Wait, how am I supposed to check my answer? Oh wait. Oh, are they using a relative or absolute frame of reference when trying to look for the range of motion for these? They would be using a relative frame, because the relative is again only more specific for the human body, while the global, I think again we're referring to the ground, the earth, and that's just again more general. So let's read like this tiny excerpt. You're correct. An absolute or global frame of reference is essentially motionless. Oh, okay, so it's not just like, ooh, the ground, the earth. It's, hey, there's no motion to this. If we use vertical or horizontal lines related to the earth as our frame of reference, and these are motionless and therefore absolute. Well, I did not read that right, but I hope you understand. When we utilize gonies, our reference is not necessarily motionless. Yeah, because you need to place this person in this motion while you're doing it. For example, we could place the thigh in many different angles relative to the ground when we measure the knee angle. Yes, putting that in my notes. So what is this? No! Math! Coordinate system. Middle school's coming back to bite my booty. No! Okay, so measuring position with a 2D coordinate system. Reading, no. Not hyperventilate. Middle school. Thank you, Tommy, for the self-care checks. One moment. Thank you. I hope to take an actual break after this PowerPoint. But yeah. Actually, hold on. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. My classmates are like, oh, they're saying there's a meeting today. Wait. What's the meeting? What? Oh my gosh, what meeting? This is the curse of having online courses. Every classes. So yeah. Okay. Hopefully I get a response, and hopefully that's not anytime soon. Normally they're at 8, so I guess now I have like a time limit, so maybe I should start panicking. Panic! I have to actually I actually have to do something. No! Okay, let's zoom through this then. Heck. So when we want to measure the position or motion of a body within a relative or global reference frame, again relative being motion, global meaning motionless, we can utilize a coordinate system either in 2 dimensions or in 3 dimensions. The figure here is employing a 2D coordinate system to map out positions of 2 different bodies. It is important to understand the orientation of either the x or y axes that can vary depending on the quantitative outcome desired. Here is shown the standard orientation of the y-axis pointing in the vertical direction and the x-axis pointing in the horizontal direction. We can describe motion occurring from the position A downwards to the left. Ooh, we're throwing stuff. Oh no! John, hi, welcome! Learning? What did I just join into? Biomechanics? I'm sorry. It's okay if you want to politely lurk or just be like, peace out. This is interesting, but not necessarily the funnest right now. Oh, middle school coordinate system. Amante, hi. Thank you so much for the tier 1 support. I love you, Hecky Mouse. I appreciate your support very much. Thank you for almost 1 whole hecking year. Welcome. As someone who has to write a few inverse kinematic solvers, these slides sure are horrifying. Oh no! It's definitely like remembering these things, being like, oh yeah, I wish I could go back. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm sorry you had to write inverse kinematic stuff. Heck. Anyway, the next following sentences are basically saying A is here and A is here. In this figure, our coordinate systems involves just a single plane. Shortly, you'll see that human motion can occur within more than just one plane. So, boo! Just call it Biomechs to make it sound more catching. And honestly, but then they're gonna be like Biomechs, like Transformers. Man, I'm so sad. No one's getting back to me about this like dumb meeting. Hold on. We have a meeting? I'm still panicking about that. Hello? We have a meeting? Where? Okay. Huh? I just want to eat chips and watch a cute cat bear do random activities. To be honest, in the grand scheme of Twitch, this is pretty random. Pretty wacky. Wow! Woo! No, you're honestly good. I'm still panicking still. Wait, I do want to check one thing though. I have an idea of what they're talking about. Gao Gao. Wait, Gao Gao. Wait. Look, hi. Thank you for the tier 2 sub for 25 whole hacking months. Thank you for making it past the 2-year mark. I appreciate you very much. It's been, oh my gosh, it's been, thank you for your support for this song. I appreciate you. As I drove myself into an existential crisis, being like, wow. Oh no, I'm good, K-Dog. Don't worry. Robus is just saying, oh yeah, there's a meeting by the way, and then dropping that out. Thanks for the information. I mean, no, thank you, because I wouldn't have known if you didn't tell me. But now I'm confusion. Where is it? Where is the announcement? Who said this? And why am I panicking for no reason? Wait, why is there Wait! ちょっと待って Oh my goodness. Oh no, you got me there. If I learn anything, I'll hold a grudge? No! John! Thank you so very much for subscribing. Welcome to the Sugar Bear Club. Welcome. I appreciate your support very, very much. Thank you again. I appreciate ya. I don't know how to say I appreciate ya without saying it like 3 times over. But that's how much I appreciate ya. I'll just wait for someone to come back at me with a link. It's at 7? Someone had the link for this? Panics to my classmates. Does anyone have the link? I'm going to find this. 8. Our course was actually just recently updated, so the formatting, everything has just recently changed too, so I can't find anything. Alright, I just asked for help, and hopefully life will be good. Big thumbs up emoji. Thank you, fellow classmates. Now I will continue to focus back on streaming. Breathing. I got you. Wait! Robo, thank you for a tier 1 sub as well. Thank you for 15 hacking months. I appreciate support very, 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 very much. I will breathe. I will. I'm not actually panicking. This is like a fake panic. If I was actually panicking, I don't know. This is just a oh no! Oh no! Oh no! My voice can't go really high, I'm sorry. But yeah. So Tippy, can you recognize G, F, and S? Arrows stand for? No? No? What is this? What are these? What's happening? Alright, so I have a 2D coordinate reference plane. Spatial orientation of either the X or Y axes can vary depending upon the qualitative outcome desired. So let's see, let's continue reading. It is important to also understand that the orientation of either the X or Y axes can vary depending upon the quantitative outcome desired. That's a lot of words. In the last figure, the coordinate system was in the standard orientation with the y-axis pointing in the vertical direction and the x-axis pointing horizontally to the right. But we can also orientate our coordinate system so that the x-axis corresponds to the long axis of the lower leg. Okay, so we see that here. Orientation of the axes will be what we want to measure. Generally, it is common to orientate the x-axis parallel to the segment or the body that you're interested in. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense for the mini one. I'm just, I want to see what these are. I can't be like, oh, force. Upside down gravity. What is this? Skin. But it's pointing to bone. Okay, foot, then gravity, then force of the ground pushing it back. Wait, it is gravity. Yes. No. My physics knowledge is like a few years old, so please forgive me. Oh my goodness. Maglet, hi. Welcome. It has been 500 years. Whoa, actually, apparently it's been 2. Welcome. How are ya? How's life been and all that jazz? Welcome. Wait, Cups, give me 1 moment. 1 moment. Receive me phone call. 1 moment. And it's not spam, so who knows? Spoiler alert, it was spam. Anyway. But yeah, I hope you've been super well. Well, thank you for joining, even if it's a study stream. I appreciate it. Thank you, Maglet. And Ron says, I'm learning test. I'm sorry. Forgive me. This is like baby math. Baby math. Linear displacement of a rigid body. Oh boy! Let's go! Pythagorean theorem! I can't say words anymore. And thank you guys for the hype train. I appreciate you. Thank you for getting me to level 2. Thank you. Alright. So we have our X displacement, like again, we said it's going to be horizontal, and our Y, which is going to be vertical. F is for friction. Let's go! Okay, thank you. I'm just like... Thank you. I'm kind of embarrassed to say how long ago it's been since I've taken physics, but yeah. more than two years ago. S is steady? What the heck is steady? Ready, steady, go? Play Full Metal Alchemist OP? Or stational? Oh, it doesn't sound as familiar, but I believe and trust it to be true. I know there can be a variety, and I hope they kind of go more into detail, and maybe this is just a general like, hey, this is how we're gonna look at it, you know? Yeah. So the linear displacement of a rigid body, again, rigid body is going to be the thing that won't be deformed. So the distance in the direction of a body has moved if referred to as displacement. And this example here, the body is represented by the blue circle, okay? And, excuse me, and has moved in a coordinate system from location 1612 to its final position at 4024. And the coordinate pair, remember that the x-coordinate is the first number and the second value is the y-coordinate. Thank you. Calculating the distance traveled is rather simple. First calculate the displacement of the body in the x direction and then the displacement in the y direction. Assume that the numbers represent centimeters. Beautiful. Math. Well, they actually do the math for you. Longest of my life has been real something. That's all I have to say about that. Well, I'm just gonna stay here for a while. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I know 2 years is a long time for a lot of real somethings to happen, but I hope now, yeah, that things have become a little bit more stable for you. Definitely way more manageable. Thank you for stopping by, and if you want to politely lurk and chill out, feel free to. But holy heck, I hope everything is a-okay for you. Big thumbs up, but in voice. But yeah, so they basically do the math here. Wow, math. Wow, 40 minus 16 is 24. 24 minus 12 is 12. Amazing. That's gonna be our x displacement and y displacement. Wow! We can also use Pythagorean theorem to find linear displacement. I shouldn't really hesitate. I'm just really bad with math, but the Pythagorean theorem really wasn't a bad thing, you know? And I can't believe I'm actually applying this again. You know how there's always memes of like, oh, I'll never have to use this theorem again. Why couldn't school teach me about taxes? Well, yay, it paid off. Yay. Alright, let's go here. So this is going to be an example of our relative angle or the global or absolute angle. So as we discussed earlier from the topic of frames of reference, it is always important to identify exactly how the angle being measured is referenced. And the figure on the left, the angle of the femur, so our femur right here, relative to the lower shank. Whoa, I had not heard the word shank before. In reference to this in a very long time. Provides a measure of joint angle. So again, this is going to be an angle forming here, and we can see that with the black curved arrows and line right here. The term shank is going to refer to the tibia and the fibula. The tibia is going to be our main bone and more medial, and fibula is going to be our lower bone more laterally. This is something very commonly measured in clinical practice. However, we can also measure angles between the external reference, which is the case in the ground, and the limb segment. So right here we can see that in the global or absolute angle. The figure on the right demonstrates absolute angles between the ground and the thigh. So our ground, it's not really the thigh, but okay. And also between the ground and the lower shank. Oh, okay. Wait, are you talking about these? Oh, my bad. Oh, thank you for that. I'm so sorry. I'm not tall enough. I'm not tall enough. Regret upload. Thank you so very much for that. But thank you, thank you. John says this feels like a scam. What? It feels like a scam learning with easy math, and then boom, this stuff goes over my head. It does, but no, it's okay. We got this. This is baby stuff. This is literally week 1 introductory stuff. If we can get through this, we can get through anything. It's literally our foundation. CD SAF, thank you. After going on multiple tangents and then panicking about a meeting, I appreciate it. I hope to get through this PowerPoint in our next one. Or really, I hope to get through all the PowerPoints before this review. I'm getting mixed messages. Apparently, it is a 7 o'clock meeting, so I have roughly an hour. So I better speed up. Zoom, 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 zoom. Huh? Just keep trying. Really? Hi, welcome. Math is a skill that can be learned just like anything else. I know, but it all started in 5th grade when I got my first F in math. my self-esteem went really low. Math's never been my subject. Anything related to math, like the chemistry or physics, like chemistry or quantitative analysis, boo, boo. But no, surely it can be learned, and honestly, just kind of seeing it in form. It's not like we're gonna start doing math on patients being like, oh, the Pythagorean theorem, but it is good and fun in a certain way to be able to refresh and be like, whoa, I'm glad I learned this and I understand the application of it. For real, okay? Maybe it'll stick to you? Well, hopefully. Talking about this really does help out, so thank you for hearing me out, Cubs. Coordinate systems? Angles? They're about to break out the trigonometry, aren't they? They may as well. You know, I would not be surprised. Nothing's hard, just a simple understanding. Don't worry, you got classmates to help you in physics and teachers if you have to understand the topic. Oh no, for sure. I will make sure to always use my references. I don't think there's any shame in asking for help anywhere. I have no shame in being that person like, hey, I actually just don't understand this. Can you explain it to me? Which is why I like talking about these subjects, because if I have trouble understanding or like talking about it to you, Cubs, I could be like, I'm gonna talk to a classmate about this, because if I'm not able to easily explain these topics in conversations to you, then that means I don't understand it. And of course, like I said, this is a study with me stream, so it's one of those things where I'm like, well, this is my first time even looking at the content, but I can always keep a note into my little side Google document that I have and just be like, hey, I didn't understand this, let me ask a teacher or classmate, and then hopefully next time, if this subject does appear again, and hopefully again, this is introductory, so we'll build up, I'll be able to explain it and have that confidence to be like, I know what I'm talking about, let's go! No worries, no worries. I have no shame in saying, hey, I don't know. Well, I'll be more willing to learn, because if you can explain it to someone, that means the information is sticking. Exactly! That's why I'm so excited for like me to be able to understand this all and be like, yeah, it's really fun to be a student, honestly, and getting to learn stuff and sharing this kind of knowledge. And honestly, anything anatomy based is just so applicable. Sorry, I can't speak right now. I think it's very fun. And I mean, even if you're not studying the human body, the cool thing is that we're all humans, except me, I'm a bearcat. But but I have a human-like body, so I may as well, you know? May as well just share this and see, you know, how we work. Hi Titan, hi, welcome. Hyodog says yes, but question says, can you handle the pressure in exams? Oh, heck no. No, but I'm not, thankfully I'm not one of those people who have like super high anxiety during examinations where I blank out, but it's still obviously nerve-wracking. Exams are worth a large percentage of my grade and courses, so it is important to do well. But again, with practice and talking about this and all that, hopefully the information does stick so I feel more prepared during the exam. Rebel says, Dr. Tippa, I've been experiencing some lower back pains. Tippa breaks out the laws. Let me get the goni real quick. Alright, now let's get this angle and let's do... Have you heard of Sakatoa before? Sakatoa. Oh my goodness. I hope honestly if someone does have back pain, I'll be like, now that I'm a doctor, I actually can't give you advice like that. But if you were my patient, I would say this. Oh my goodness. Whoa, they're saying could you derive the joint angle line from these two absolute angles? Bro, we're not talking about derivatives. I'm going to the next slide. Somehow it's gotten worse. 3D coordinate reference plane. So we have our x-axis, our y-axis, and now our z-axis. Wow, amazing. And they're even talking about the right-hand rule. Wow, physics is really hitting me hard here, huh? I know the hardest addition question? Yeah, honestly, the simplest ones are normally the hardest. Like, is 1 plus 1 really 1 plus 1? Am I reading that wrong? And sometimes it's very easy to overthink the little things, you know? Let's see. For a moment, let's come back to discussing reference planes and motions. Typically, movements involved with human motions are occurring across more than one plane, and thus can be stated that motions are often multiplanar. Therefore, a 3D coordinate frame of reference is often needed to describe human movements that are multiplanar. And 3D coordinate systems, each axis is perpendicular to the other two. By convention, in a 3D coordinate system, the arrowheads are pointing towards positive values and following the right-hand rule. Consult your text for an explanation. No! These PowerPoints, no! Tell me what the right-hand rule was again. Thumbs up. Force. Thank you. Alright. Whoa, no. Math. Velocity. No, I'm just kidding. This is really not bad. It's just really funny to see it. So, remember, we were talking about the qualitative and quantitative data, so it's really important to get this quantitative, this numerical data, so we can find the linear velocity of a rigid body, and we could do that, and when we get that data, it can help us describe the speed and the direction. Remember, velocity, or the direction of the velocity that we'll be finding, is going to be displacement over time. V equals d over t. So we can do the position initial, position final, time initial. So far, the discussion of kinematics have focused on the distance a body travels, either linear or angular, and on direction. And it's important to describe the relationship between the distance and the period of time in which the body moves. Again, that's going to help us understand our velocity. And understanding movement of a body, we commonly need to describe how fast the body moves, or the body's actual rate of motion. This is the definition of speed. However, speed does not describe the direction, so we need different terms to describe both the rate of the body and its direction. The term velocity identifies and describes the rate of motion of a body and its direction. Speed is scalar, yeah, quantity, while velocity is a vector quantity and refers to the rate at which a body changes its position. To calculate the velocity of a body in a specific direction is straightforward. Take the displacement of the body in a specific direction and divide it by time. Now, hi, welcome. Right hand works because I said so. Big thumbs up emojis to that, brother, sister, cubba. I know. Hi, welcome to Study Stream but with math. Dun dun dun. Well, they're actually having me try to do math? No way. No, but this is just again minusing the final minus initial for both x and y. Never mind, I was asking to do the Pythagorean theorem. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. I'll look at it later. No! What's happening? Alright. What is the difference between this? Oh, this is acceleration. So we talked about velocity. So now this is acceleration. Linear acceleration of a rigid body, describing the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. So velocity is going to equal the change in linear velocity of a body over the change in time. We could get more specific when we talk about velocity initial minus velocity final, with time final minus time initial. A, or alpha, is going to be the symbol of acceleration. So, velocity is going to incorporate a measurement of the average speed of a body in a motion, but it does not provide us with the information as to whether the body during this measurement period was speeding up or slowing down. Rarely in human motion is velocity constant. Limb segments and the whole body itself are typically speeding up or slowing down as we move. Imagine trying to like swerve through like a crowd. It's like, oh, whoa, what? You gotta speed up. You gotta slow down. You gotta cut these people off. You gotta slow down because there's no way to go. And you have 5 people in front of you and they're forming a wall for no reason and you can't go around them. Boo! So to describe a body's motion more precisely, it is often important to quantify where a body is accelerating or speeding up or decelerating, slowing down. Simply, we cannot look at this by identifying the changes in velocity that are occurring over a given period of time. To calculate acceleration, take the change in velocity of a body over a period of time and divide it by the length of time. There should be an example question with answers so you could get a better understanding of linear acceleration. Maybe. That's how I was taught in university. Yeah, but honestly, if it doesn't... How to say it? I've done a lot of velocity and acceleration in my previous like undergrad classes, so if this is not the biggest focus in biomechanics, because again this is very introductory, like hey, you've done this before, I'm not going to be super mad if it's not just showing me super examples and me doing like multiple, like how do you say it, like problems. That's not really the main focus of this course, of doing like quantitative stuff. This is just giving examples of hey, this is how we can grab these quantitative data and why it's important to grab velocity and acceleration for now. Oh no, you're good. I appreciate you. So we got the measurements of our angles. Look, we have Goni right here. So we know what angles are. It is 2 lines intersecting at their vertex. And angles in biomechanics and PT, the intersecting lines are going to be our body segments, and the joint right here, our elbow joint, is going to be the vertex. Amazing. Wow. Oh boy. Angular motion of a rigid body. So all those previous examples that we're seeing of velocity and acceleration were all in the respect of linear. Now let's talk about angular motion. So the key is that all points of the objects move at the same angle, but do not undergo the same linear displacement. So, oh boy, let's read this. So remember, when we talk about angular, this is going to be referring to like rotational. So as stated earlier, human motion also involves both linear and angular motion. We can define the angular motion or rotation of a rigid body by stating that all points of the body move at the same angle, but do not all undergo the same linear displacement. Rotations are movements of the rigid body around an axis. So again, angular is rotation. Angular kinematics is therefore the description of angular motion of a body, such as rotations, spins, twists, and swings. Again, similar to linear kinematics, angular kinematics can be used to describe motions of the whole body, such as when a gymnast rotates around a bar. It can also be used to describe rotations of one limb segment when another, such as when the knee bends and straightens. When we describe angular displacement of a body, we refer to how far it rotates, how fast it rotates, is rotation speeding up or slowing down, and in which direction does this body rotate. Oh, 360. 360 no scope. So the units of measurements in angular kinematics, so again we have our degrees, we have our revolutions of how many we can go over like the circle, and our radians. Woo. We got theta over here too. Oh no, I didn't get a host notification, but thank you, Warforbot. I appreciate you. Thank you for the host, by the way, Pepe. Thank you. I'm having math nightmares here. Don't get me wrong. This is probably one of my better subjects, but I was just like, bro. Radiance? Exactly. Get me out of here. I'm so sorry. I need to move my headpads. But thank you for them. I appreciate it. I'm already lost? What do you mean? You did this in like high school. I'm lost. It's just you know, the body, and it moves because bodies don't move linear all the time. They rotate, and so we need to do math to make sure we account for that. But do we actually have to do math? No. But do we have to refresh ourselves understanding that we did math at one point? Yes. So let me read through this really quick. Angles are something that we're all quite familiar with, and in this class we'll denote angles with the theta symbol. Typically, therapists will measure angles across the joints by degrees units ranging from 0 up to potentially 360. Of course, we do not have any joints that allow us for 360 degrees of motions, but it is important to remember a complete circle represents the angle of 360 degrees. We can also measure rotations in terms of revolutions of the body, but revolutions are rarely used to denote rotations in the clinic. Less commonly, angular measurements can be identified by radians instead of degrees. I will fight the therapist or clinician who's like, oh, by the way, this patient has like 5 radians. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. That's not on the Goonie. That's not on our tool. You purposely decided you were going to convert that. But apparently 1 radian is about 57 degrees, so maybe 5 radians is a little excessive. Anyway, in simple terms, radians are derived through the calculation of the length of the arc centered at the angle. Here, the length of the arc created by the angle is S, so we see that right here. Oh, my mouse, there you go. And the length of the radius is denoted by the letter R. R for radius. Wow. If you took the radius of any circle and bend the radius into an arc that lies along the circumference of the circle, you would need about 6 of them to go all the way around a circle. Oh, it's all clicking back to me. I'm understanding math again. This is the most exciting time in my life. Anyway. Again, clinicians rarely use radians to measure angular positions, but in this course you would need to utilize radians for some of your calculations. Why? As it links together a linear measurement of a circle to both the radius of the circle and to the angle itself. Boo! Boo! Anyway, as a quick immersion, you can convert radians to degrees by multiplying radians by 57.3, or convert degrees to radians by dividing degrees by 57.3. Alright, that's going in the Google Notes. No way. No hecking way. Hold on. Excuse me. You need to divide 95? Wait, convert 95 degrees to radians. Yeah, so 95 will be divided by 1 radian, which 1 radian is 57.3. My body decided, hey, Tippa, you're gonna digest. Hold on. Alright. My classmates have hooked me up with the meeting link, by the way. We are all good for the next 45 minutes. Alright. It's telling me to do math. Convert 1.44 radians to degrees, so you just multiply that by 57.3. Bam! I wasn't definitely reading the description. I just have a vague understanding of math, so it's okay. Whoa, look at that bicep curl. So let's talk about the direction of rotation and angular motion. I keep having to do degree to radian, then radian to degree conversions because every single lib uses different units. I'm sorry you're living a nightmare. It's okay though, it's okay. I remember doing a lot of conversions like that back in high school when I was like in pre-calc. Wait, not pre-calc. Trig. Don't talk to me about pre-calc. Anyway, since angular motions are vector quantities, they must. Can I have like a side tangent about pre-calc? I have no idea why I didn't just take an easier course like financial algebra or something. I was like, I'm gonna challenge myself. In my senior year of high school, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm really bad at math, but you know what sounds good? Pre-calc. And anyway, since angular motions are vector quantities, they must be described in terms of both the magnitude and the direction. When we discuss linear motion, we use a standard coordinate system using degrees to signify the direction when dealing with velocity and accelerations. With angular motion, we also need to specify the rotational direction, and they are based on the hands of a clock. Clockwise motions are given a negative value, and counterclockwise motions are given a positive value. Well, I might need to look at that a little bit. To This is just the standard naming, and we will always be consistent with these, or errors in our calculations will occur. Name the direction of the right forearm moving from 90 degrees to 110 degrees of flexion. Sorry. Name the direction of the right forearm moving from 90 to 110. Alright, so it's moving backwards, so this is going to be counterclockwise. And we just said counterclockwise is a positive value, so it's going to just be 20 degrees. Yes. Yes. Correct. Thumbs up emoji. The downfall of the bearcat, more math? Exactly. Don't give me math. Give me anatomy, and even then I'm very like average. Very average on it. K-Dog says, yep, that's true, but Tippy will be okay. It is! I will be okay, hopefully. Again, this is not a math-centered course, but oh boy, do they want me to know math. Well, thankfully, I used to, so the reason why I have such a, it's not even a love-hate, I just have like a hate relationship with physics, is that, yeah, even though a lot of the science classes, if you show work, you will get partial credit and whatnot, a lot of this is online, so they won't give you points. It's either you get the answer or you don't. But one of the physics classes that I took, which I had to drop out of, I kid you not, everything was open response. There's no multiple choice, and I am telling you right now, it's absolute dog doo-doo at physics. Magnets? Mwah. So I was so good at magnets. Everything else, no way. So I was just like, I passed the magnet section, and as soon as I learned that I was not going to get the grade that I was wanting to do, I was just like, I'm dropping out of this class. I'm so sorry. It's always a little heartbreaking to like drop out of a class, because then it's like, hey, you know, you're going to take a little bit longer with school and yada yada yada. But honestly, education at your own time, you know? Oh man, I keep hitting my little massage thing. Sorry. Anyway, so let's talk about angular velocity calculations. So we could see in the description, this is going to be the body's position after time. So again, it was going from that 90 to 110, assuming this is in the same picture. We can calculate the angular velocity with theta over time final minus time initial. Because our limb segments rotate around each other, it becomes important to measure the angular velocity of a body such as a limb segment. For example, a clinician assessing someone in a work or sports activity may want to evaluate the speed of the forearm flexing on the upper arm, or you know, when they do the elbow flexion or like the bicep curls. The clinician therefore wants to know the velocity of the elbow flexion. The Greek symbol omega is the symbol we will use to denote a measure of angular velocity. We saw. Thank you. Even if I appear studious, I'm still just learning, and that's perfectly fine. Alright, so this is how we're going to find the angular velocity of a rigid body. So describing the rate of change of velocity over time, we're going to basically get the change of the angle of the body and the change of time. So we could see angle initial minus angle final over time final minus time initial. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. These are the same things, that is just the actual equation put out for us. So now we could try to calculate this. Am I really going to calculate this with my short time? No! And it's telling me to convert this? Heckum. So now that we talked about angular velocity, we need to talk about angular acceleration. And this is going to be the change of angular velocity of a body over the change in time. This angular acceleration, again, acceleration is going to be determining, hey, is this angular motion, is it speeding up or slowing down? How can we tell? We use this formula. So it's going to be an important measurement that is going to incorporate the average angular speed of a body in motion, but does not really provide us with any information on whether, oh, I'm misreading, I'm so sorry. It's basically saying, again, velocity doesn't tell us speeding up or not speeding up, while acceleration will. And so these are just going to be the units that we're going to use whenever we do this, and basically this is going to be something for my reference, and we are good to go. We are done with the second PowerPoint. Oh boy. oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, let me put this away really quick. Man, I would have loved to take a little break. I think maybe we'll try to, what do you call it, speed up this third PowerPoint, if that's even a thing. No, the third PowerPoint's just math. No. Well, I guess we're not speeding it up. Or maybe we can and be like, I'm not gonna do that. Oh no! Yammer, hi! Good luck with your homework, thank you! I appreciate you, thank you, thank you, thank you! Thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry, I'm doing math. I thought I was here for anatomy. I feel so bad. This tag is like, how do you say it? Huh? Huh? Hold on. I feel like I'm lying. Alright, yeah? I don't know why the formatting is always so wacky. Human motions, mathematics of biomechanics. In this section, we'll cover basic math. Alright, I can't believe Eshi missed out on the math stream. I know, where the heck is this dude? Where is this dude? No, he is A-okay and good. Wait, the meeting's at 8? Wait, hold on, Cubs. Maybe I can get through all of this now, but I have to now confirm. Is the meeting at 7 or is the meeting at 8? One whole hecky moment. Whoa, it's Superman? It is! You know there's an exercise called Superman, right? That's all. I'm pretty sure it's just like laying on your belly and then like raising your arms and legs simultaneously, but yeah. Well, it's Superman? No, it's Supergirl? Oh, heck. Okay, it is at 8. Yay! I can get through all this now. Don't feel regret or guilt or anything like that. Yay! Okay, let me stop being dumb. Alright, so let's get over some... Get over. Let's get through some biomechanics and some mathematics for it. So a lot of the mathematics we kind of just went over in the last slide. I guess this is just a dedicated math section. My favorite. So we have geometry basics. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Review the right triangle. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna die one moment. Alright, now that I'm back from 9. Look at that, a right angle! So, you know, if you make a little L, not a little L that you make with your hand, that's going to represent your 90-degree angle. We have 90 degrees, and we have the angle that's going to be adjacent, opposite, and the hypotenuse. We have our reference angle right here, and then again, the reference angle is how we're going to name these things. This is our hypotenuse. Sorry, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. We have our adjacent, which is going to be near, and then opposite to the reference angle is going to be, well, our opposite. So remember, basically, to measure, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. Yeah. No, why are the things cutting like that? Sorry. There you go. Oh, so I thought Undertale music would play, and I'm like, oh, Undertale lo-fi in my lo-fi radio? Anyway, so some basics is just, again, reviewing the right triangle. So let's see what we can read from here, because I don't really see anything too different. Is it that the angles are different? Oh, never mind. It's just because the angle is different. So, hey, remember, anything that we're going to name is going to be in reference to where the, well, reference angle is. So this angle right here is now here instead of here where we were typically seeing it. So now what we had believed was going to be opposite is going to be changed around because the angle is different. So adjacent is now going to be this because this is adjacent or right next to or side by side to this angle, while this will now be your opposite. So ooh, math. Don't get tricked up. No! Real Robo's words were correct! I am gonna apply sine, cosine, and tangent functions! When someone's like, oh Tippa, I have low back pain. Oh, let me break out the trig really quick. No! Alright. Sakatoa! No! This is so good. I actually was being like ironic or like joking around with Sakatoa, but I guess this is actually a thing I'm doing. It's a Supergirl. Can she protect me from math? Bro, I can't ever protect myself from math. Please help me. I'm so sorry. Teehee, I will do my absolute very, very best for you, okay? Okay, 가강해. I can't do it. I can't do it. I math is hard. Jamali says, seeing baby math like this makes me feel really comfy. Yeah, it like throws me back. Like, obviously I'm fake panicking, but like it's just like, whoa, this is actually coming back into practice. It's been a minute. the Sakatoa? The what? I don't know. I guess my high school, high school, yeah, was just like, yeah, think of like the Indians. Sure. That's how we remembered it. We were not sucking any toes. Unless math is Tippa's kryptonite. It is! How did you know, Atomic? I'm dying. I don't remember anything complex in math, only my multiplication tables. Bro, you're one up upon me. I never memorized the multiplication tables. That was definitely like a 5th grade thing where I completely ignored. I could tell you like certain things, like, oh, it's 9 times 9 and all that jazz. But if you tell me like what's 7 times 16, I have to be like, let me add them really quick. 7, 14, 21, 20, you know? Anyway, so yeah, we have our Sakutoa, so we know C is always going to be our hypotenuse, A is going to be our adjacent. I hope that's what it's trying to say. Right? No. Wait, what's this BC business? Oh, never mind. No, just follow your Sakutoa. Sa, it's going to be the sign with the opposite hypotenuse being divided. The ka, it's going to be your cosine with adjacent over hypotenuse. And the tan is going to be opposite over, adjacent. These letters are just to say, I guess, better represent this. But that, I feel like, is more confusing than a Sakutoa. Because, again, the angle can always change, you know? So this is not as dependent as Sakutoa. I only learned cool math tips about multiplications. Man, I wish I learned cool stuff in general. Heck. No, what is this? Inverse trigonometric functions? What is this? Now this is something I actually don't remember. So there are times when you need to calculate the actual angular measurements based on the ratios of the triangle side lengths. In these cases, you will use inverse trigonometric functions to achieve this. As we explore the outputs of instruments like force plates, they will use mathematicals of inverse trig functions to calculate the 2- and 3-dimensional orientations of force. Arcsine, arccosine, arctan. Oh, I vaguely remember. I guess. Where's my Texas instrument calculator? Where is this bad boy? Wow, there he is. I didn't expect that. Why are my slides cutting up again? I'm sorry. Oh my goodness. There he is! Calculator hints. When using a calculator before performing a trig function, make sure you know which mode you're in regarding radians versus degrees. Here you can see 2 different results when calculating the sine of 30. The negative 0.988 value represents a value based on radians, and the 0.5 represents the values using degrees. Bro, I don't even know if I had this calculator anymore. I think I had used it in my undergrad because I was still taking like basic maths. Not basic, but like, you know, stats and whatnot. Do I have to go dig through my boxes? Hold on. The silver even? I know! Fancy! Fancy. I think I only got the silver ones when I rented them from the library. If not, I had like the dark one, the black one. I figured it out in my head and it's correct. Let's go! Multiplications! I can't do 7 times 16. Unfortunately, in my head. My brain does not hold that capacity for numbers, unfortunately. Run Doom on the calculator? Oh, okay. I'll do it. Using your calculator. I don't have one. No one told me. No one told me I needed this. Hopefully when I stop by school, if I really need this, I could just like rent it out or something. Alright, vectors. Okay, get me out of here. Biomechanical parameters can be expressed as scalar or vector quantities. Scalar quantities refer to magnitudes such as length, weight, and time. Vectors add orientation to a scalar quantity. Thus, vectors have both magnitude and orientation. Typically, vectors are drawn as arrows to depict their directions as seen in the figure here. Vectors can be described by their orientations in the horizontal and vertical directions. Click on these links to understand your... You still got the calculator? Or like beat the Texas Instrument? No. Remember remember I had moved like a year ago? Well, some of the boxes I didn't unpack is just like stuff that I'm like, oh, I would never need this, and it's like under my bed. Right? So I'm not that motivated to dig out. I'll just see if the library has it. Thank you for your concern though. Combining vectors. Oh no. I know this is not hard, but my brain's like, oh wait. Let's read this together. In human motion analysis, there are often many combinations of vectors that must be accounted for. By far, the most common use of vectors in biomechanical analysis is to utilize vectors to represent forces. We'll dig into forces into detail in the next unit, but for now, you should realize that you can use vector analysis to help understand the mechanisms of movement. However, remember that vectors can be combined by adding or subtracting them. Yeah. But isn't it like, oh, this is add and this is subtract and this is subtract? Man. What is this man doing? Let's apply trig functions to human movement analysis. So we have a vertical force, we have a horizontal force, and then we have the force here, so 600, 200. And this, I assume this is where we can do our handy dandy Pythagorean theorem. Yay! Huh? I did not expect the stream to just go straight down the linear algebra path. Me either! I thought it was just gonna be like, whoa, this is how you move, and these are how your joints are moving. Not, hey, let's go back to like high school math and hope that you remember this, and maybe even some in your undergrad. Remember, these classes were like prerequisites to get into the program, even though you took them a billion years ago? Okay. 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 I'll look at the math section later. Yay! One more PowerPoint down. We have 3. Well, one is just a summary that's literally like one thing. This next one coming up is just gonna be focusing on kinematics again. So actually, let's see. Yes, this one is more anatomy based. Let's go! Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't have to look completely hopeless anymore. But with that, I am gonna take like a small baby break. I just need to, stand up and stretch. I feel like I need to just stand. So I'll be right back in a few moments. I'm gonna bite into my croissant. And then we'll get back into this. We're gonna come back with more anatomy based things. We're gonna be talking more about the osteokinematics and arthrokinematics. So more like how the human body's moving. So what I was expecting this course to be, you know? Let me see if I could just change it over. Is this the correct one? And let me see if I could format this for us. Man, where's on the stick? Let me get that. I feel like it keeps getting smaller every time I open different PowerPoints. I feel a little bad. Alright. I'll politely be right back, okay? I'll put up a wrap on life will be good, so see you in just a few minutes, okay? 1, 2, skibbity doobity, be right back!
私はここにいるから曖昧な未来であって何も怖くないよ差し出された手に触れて絡まった糸が優しくほどけた不条理な気をずって舐めてあげるから星の夜にねあの森で待ってるからあの場所で待ってるからあの場所で待ってるから空っぽの世界の中全てこぼれちゃっても鮮やかにもがきながら時間を歪ませながらも見つけて花びらがゆっくりと二人を包むよ星の夜にねえねかすかに響き渡る教会のチャイム祈りを捧げ今日を裏切る暗い森の中をさまよって暗絶の壁が残月になるの透明な嵐に待ちなさい甘い淡い蜂蜜でもっとベトベトにしたお願いいい子になるから私を承認して風に舞う絵本のページが影になって記憶を揺らすのずーっとあの場所で待ってるから空っぽの世界の中すべ
Yummers, I am back. I am hydrated. I pep keys, and I eat a croissant. Life is good, and I won the raffle. Hello. So life is good. I hope everyone took a little stretch break for themselves and all that good stuff because it's good to stretch. Because if not, Teru always like makes me fearful of like blood clots. She's the only like person who's like, yeah, they run in my family, and I'm like, oh no. It's a scam? What do you mean it's a scam? I definitely put my name in there, just like all you other cubs. This is what they call streamer luck. Maybe. Maybe. I'm Ugly. Hi. I had to BRB. I had to go do stuff. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. I needed a tiny baby break. At least give me that much. That was my BRB screen, or the be right back. But now, we're back at it again, folks. So we're gonna be focusing again on more biomechanics, but like I said right before we had gone on break, this is gonna be more focusing. Oh, oops, sorry, I was on my cable. This is going to be more focusing of osteo and arthrokinematics. So osteo, again, we're going to talk about more of these like big fancy words, but pretty much, you know how we're talking about in our previous sections, very math based of like, oh, linear motion and angular motion and rigid and non-rigid. So in this section, we're going to explore more about the human motion in more details when we're discussing rigid body rotation. So again, something that's not necessarily deformed. Not necessarily, it's just not deformed whatsoever. Generally, human motion involves one bone moving relative to another. So we're gonna like review some of the clinical descriptions used in the clinician setting to see what it means about bone movement. So what the heck is osteokinematics? What the heck is this long booty word, and why do we need to know it? So osteokinematics is, again, bone movement. The physiological movement possible at each joint occurs when forces act on the bone to move it. Bone movement? Bone movement! That's hi! Welcome! Welcome. I'm learning biomechanics, aren't you proud? Join the bone movement? Yeah, please join the bone movement. Please move your bones. Please don't leave. Don't leave. I mean, don't leave. But please don't live a sedentary lifestyle. Join the bone movement. Move them. Anyway, so the physiological movement possible at each joint occurs when forces act on a bone to move it. Osteokinematic movement describes how each bony joint companion moves relative to the other, relative to the three cardinal planes of the body, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So, let's see what the tiny description says. Oh boy, it's wordy, so please bear with me. How obnoxious, hold on. Alright, the framework of our body involves the bony structures and clinically describing movement of one bony segment on another. That is going to refer to osteokinematic motion. Osteokinematic descriptions of motion simply describe how each of the bony partners move relative to each other, and our frame of reference is the three cardinal planes of the body. Here on the slide, you're observing a representation of osteokinematic motion at the tibia on the femur, as the tibiofemoral angle increases during knee flexion. So let's break it down. So remember, this is our femur, this is our tibia, this is our fibula. Again, this is going to be observing the representation of, osteokinematic motion of the tibia, of the femur, of the tibia on the femur, and then we're seeing this angle here as the knee is flexing. This is straight extension. Hopefully this is 0 degrees of extension if we measure that. 0 being normal. Some people do experience a little bit of hyperextension, so they may be in like negative values, like, oh, you're negative 5 degrees. Well, it depends on who's measuring. You could put negative, or you could just be like, oh, you have 5 degrees of hyperextension, meaning that instead of your knee going straight, your knee kind of dips down a little bit, which sounds really scary, but people who are super flexible or like hypermobile, you know? So let's see. The tibia is rotating around the femur, so the tibia is going to be rotating, as we see it's going to that knee flexion, rotating around the femur, and this axis is located at the knee. SG, we were just talking about you a little bit. We're saying that you missed the math segment, you nerd. we were going like cosine, Sakatoa. We're talking about acceleration and velocity. I'm not gonna go back, but but we're like, wow. Talking smack? No, never. Welcome from work. But yeah. So let's talk about the axis of rotation of the human body and the joints. So we have an imaginary line, which you can, it's a relatively, I have to stop saying relatively. Imaginary line is just imagine a straight line around which rotation of a bone occurs perpendicular to it. So we see our straight line and then perpendicular to it. Ooh, straight line and perpendicular to it. Rotation occurs perpendicular to the axis. Rotation around a fixed axis is a special case of rotational motion. I'm going to pull it. You want anything? Oh, heck yeah, Baz! Let's go! I heard there's a secret thing that people are getting of getting a taco, but getting everything on the side. No, but no, I'm actually good. I will not make a Chipotle workers suffer because of some weird secret menu thing of trying to be cheap. SSJ, hi, welcome. And Marshall, thank you for continuous your sub that you got from Hap instead of Jump. I appreciate you very much. Thank you for your continued support as a sugar bear. I appreciate you very, 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 very much. Thank you. Drink? Drunk. No, wait, is that the right word? Is that the right tense? Hold on. Hold on, let me sip water. Hi, Buck. Hi. Welcome. I'm gonna down my water. Hold on. Thank you for the hydrate. I appreciate. Yeah, thank you. Actually, give me one second. Is my voice going far away? Am I floating away? I'm sorry. Ignore that. That's temporary. Alright. Sorry, my baby peas, my beautiful, lovely, loving cat decided she was gonna barge in and then go immediately right out, like, you know, normal cat behavior. And I'm just like, oh boy, I'm sure my roommates would love to hear about biomechanics. Catching a tipstring when I should be asleep? Go to bed. go the heck to bed. If it is what I think it is, if it is past midnight for you, please go to sleep. Zoomy's in effect? Oh my goodness, she's been zooming non-stop. I mean, not today. She's just dumb. But I love her. She's so cute. Oh my gosh, where's my emotional support peas when I need her? Hold on. Do I not have peas here? What's this? That's that. What's this? That's not it. What? No peas? Is this peas? No. Oh my gosh. Never gonna find peas again. Too lazy now. Too lazy to look for peas. She's in my heart. That's what matters. That was not peas. That was definitely not peas. I have not updated that naming of that Baz face. Anyway, oh my goodness, let's get back into it. So, axis of rotation of the human body joints. So let's actually read the description, but before I do that, K-Dog, no problem, please have a good one. If you're heading out, please have a good rest of your day, and if you're going to bed, please have a good night and sweet dreams. Thank you for stopping by, okay? Thank you. SG, no way. SG, you're not. SG, why are you doing that? So I'm gonna call it. This is a call out post to SG, even though I'm supposed to be studying, but I'm really distracted by the fact that we're having anime night and we're trying to watch Full Metal Alchemist as a cub club, and this man is like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it before anyone else, and I'm just gonna go for it. Now I'm almost done with the hecking series, even though we still had like 20 more episodes, but somehow he's almost done. Makes you think. But I'm glad you're enjoying. Oh my gosh, my headpads are so. I have to fix them. There's been so many good headpads. Thank you for the headpad. Thank you. I will also fix my posture and also fix my headpads. Holy hecky and hecky heck. Alright, they should be fixed. But no problem. Please enjoy the rest of Full Metal Alchemist. Okay. Writing a twit longer as we speak. Oh, okay. Hi, this is a call out to SG1029. How dare he? We were supposed to do this as a cub club, and oh my goodness, he would just not. What the actual heck? And then, you know what? I bet he's not gonna even have the audacity to watch the original. He's gonna be like, I'm really happy. Or maybe he's gonna be such a fan and watch the original without me and the cub club, and then I'll never see his reaction. And then, like, what's the point of having anime night? What is the point? Anyway, that's what longer is for later. I have to focus on the studies. Let's watch One Piece from episode 1. Okay, we can do that if you want. The stupid meme of the One Piece. The One Piece is has really inspired me to be like, maybe I should touch One Piece, but again, I remember even dropping it as a kid because I was so mad about the fillers. Anyway, Except for certain passive accessory type movements of bones, all motions of bone can be classified as forms of rotation. Biomechanically, bone rotations can be broken down further as spins and swings. However, before describing spins and swings of bones, it is important to remember that rotations of one rigid body around another occurs around a line that we call an axis, which is our imaginary line. As compared to your car's tire rotating around an axis that travels to the car's axle, we cannot see an axis. Sorry, that sounded weird. Axis, not access. At human joints, it is an imaginary line, so to speak, around which our limb segments rotate. The axis for motion is, for our purpose, a straight line, and importantly, rotations of the bony segments at the joint around an axis will occur at 90 degrees or perpendicular to this line. The diagram here is depicting a fixed axis to demonstrate that motion occurring perpendicular to the axis. I feel like there's a lot of words in this description. Imagine a set of door hinges. Alright, here you go. Applicable. Yeah. They allow rotations only perpendicular to the central pins of the hinge. Excuse me. That they do. Let's go. That's she. Anyway, osteokinematic terminology. So we're gonna have a longitudinal axis, which makes sense. Longitudinal is gonna be long, and that's gonna be going and referring to the long axis of the bone. PTs can measure the range of motion relative to the long axis of the bone right here. Excuse me. Osteokinematic terminology for the mechanical axis. So this is gonna be oh goodness gracious. You're gonna get no problem, SG. Have a good one. Please try to enjoy Full Metal Alchemist. I'll try to get your feedback, I guess. Or not your feedback, that sounds so formal. I'll try to hear your feelings towards the series, even though I still won't have a vague idea what's happening, because even I need a nice refresher to Brotherhood. Yeah. Anyway. Much of the osteokinematic terminology, spins, swings, rolls, slides, etc. used in this course are based on general kinesiology theories of motion. Osteokinematic rotations of bones at joints are basically either spins or swings, and these rotations occur around an axis. Our previous example of a door hinge is to represent an axis of rotation of bones, which is straightforward, and we can utilize the term called the mechanical axis to characterize a bone's axis for angular motion. The true mechanical axis of a bone refers an axis which typically passes through the joint's center. This axis may coincide with the moving bone's longitudinal axis, or in some cases does not pass through the bone's longitudinal axis at all. Huh? What is this? So this is our spin, but what are we referencing here? Is this just a side view? Okay, it is just a side view. This is our socket, this is our shoulder, that's our humerus. This is the spin, or it's referencing the spin, and then this would be it spinning, and this is the mechanical axis. Define mechanical axis. Mechanical axis of a bone is a straight line connecting the joint center points of the proximal and distal joints of the frontal or sagittal plane. What? Laughability, thank you so very much for the follow. Welcome to the Coke Club. Welcome. Those were definitely words you just said. I'm so trying to understand what a mechanical axis is. Even the description did not help me. I'm like, huh? What? Like, okay, stream was fun, but I'm gonna go do other things. Yeah, no problem. You go do the things. I believe in you. Thank you for stopping by, and please have a good rest of your day, okay? Oh, I clicked this stream and thought it was a small brain study. This is small brain study. Look at that. This is so... No, I'm so sorry. Normally I don't struggle, but this one I'm actually stuck in. If you caught me just a few like, what do you call it? Slides ago, I had been like, oh, look at me go. Now I'm just like, what is this? But welcome to the biomechanical stream. Hi. We're learning about anatomy and how our joints move and all that good stuff. If you caught me last PowerPoint, we were going over the Pythagorean theorem. I'm glad to have you. Man, what the heck is a mechanical axis? What is this? The true mechanical axis of a bone refers as an axis which typically passes through the joint center. Center? That's something I'm gonna politely ask. But like, it spins! Hi Sai, hi! Hey, a mighty bearcat? Yes, I am the mighty bearcat. Hear me roar! Rah! Go go! Hi! How are ya? Welcome. I'm politely skipping the things I don't know. Alright. Spins of bone occurs as rotations around a fixed mechanical axis. Whatever the heck that means. What is this? Give me back my map. No, but spin! We're gonna be in spin. Spain without the P. That's where we are right now. In other words, if the bone moves and the axis remains stationary, then we describe this motion as spinning. Okay. In the picture here, the axis of two different hypothetical bone segments are seen with their mechanical axis orientation. Okay, so these are two different. Okay. The picture on the left demonstrates spin, in which the mechanical axis runs along the length of the bone, passing through the center of the opposing joint surface. Okay, so from here to here, this is going to be the opposing joint surface. However, bones like the humerus, which is this and this, and the femur are not simply straight bones, but have an offset relationship of the head of the bone to the shaft of the bone. So this is in reference to like, hey, this is all like the humerus, but what happens is that you have like a neck and head and all that jazz, and oh, sorry, that's my mouse. So it's not like a straight bone. You also have this part right here. So here, the hypothetical mechanical axis runs through the neck of the bone and through the center of the head of the bone, and the bone spins around this. Dies because I don't understand spinning. No, I'm in Spain without the S. No, I thought this was gonna be easier. It was just gonna be spinning. But it's not. It's night shift. That means time for looking in the bearcat territory. Thank you for the look. I appreciate ya. I'm trying to make this as fun and interesting as possible, but oh boy. I'm sorry. But I hope your night shift is doing super well. Thank you for joining. Whose bone is that? Our bones. Yeah. It's a very like cartoonish way of that bone looking, but this one's a much better image, as you see. Alright, to make the mechanical axis concept a little easier, okay, they're gonna make it easy for us. Okay. To make the mechanical axis concept a little easier to understand, visualize your forearm rotation around your humerus as you supinate and pronate. Okay, so what they're saying in this very like technical terms is that, hey, if you bend your arm like at a 90-degree, you know you have your arm, and your forearm. Your forearm is going to be what's considered below the elbow, like towards your hand or like towards the wrist. It's gonna ask you to supinate and pronate. Supinate is basically, supination sounds like soup, and it's supination is a motion where you put your palm up like you're holding a bowl of soup, while pronating is that you're a pro basketball player. You're dribbling for the goal. Anyway, so yeah, basically arm at 90 degrees and you supinate, so hold that bowl of soup, and then pronate, you put that bad boy down. It's no longer soup, it's a basketball. You're going pro, baby. And so the mechanical axis of this rotation can be pictured as a line coinciding generally with the longitudinal axis of the forearm. So you're just telling me this is like a you're just telling me this is just a straight line. Is that really what you're just telling me? Stellar mnemonic device, thank you. It was always my dream of going pro. Too bad I've actually never played any sports. Anyway, yeah, so the mechanical axis of this rotation can be pictured as a line, longitudinal axis of the form, and passing perpendicular to the center of the stationary joint surface, the capitulum of the humerus. So here? What? This is an example of where the longitudinal axis corresponds with the mechanical axis for osteokinematic rotation. When this happens, rotations are characterized as spins. Huh? I get it. Okay, I guess. So you have the mechanical axis of where this is going to be happening, and this is your capitulum of the humerus. And right here, having this axis, or we're going to have the imaginary line, this is going to be our x, this could be our y. This motion allows for those rotation. I guess. I'm going to ask a classmate on that one, because oh boy, you know what? Heck the spins, we're going to swing. Maybe it'll be easier to understand. Maybe we'll get the swing of it. Huh? Dice. Anyway, so on the PowerPoint it says swings refer to the movement of the longitudinal axis of the bone. These also occur around the mechanical axis, uniplanar motions, and multiplanar motions. The mechanical axis is not fixed. So are we saying that the spin is fixed? I guess that would make sense, because that would give you something to spin around. It would be weird if your axis was not fixed, while the swing one is not fixed and it's allowing you to do that free motion of swinging. So it says if the osteokinematic rotation or rotatory motion is not occurring around a fixed mechanical axis, then the motion is considered a swing. Okay, easy to understand, I suppose. Hi Glenn, hi. Hey Bearcat, hello, come, welcome. Wow. How are you as we're wait, why the hand smash? Hand smash back, hand smash back. All other osteokinematic movements of a bone at a joint that are not spins are therefore swings. So again, so if it's fixed, it's a swing. It's a spin. You gotta spin around like, I don't know, like a pole or something. And if it's not fixed, you're just gonna be swinging like a swing, like at a park. Swings refer to angular motions of the longitudinal axis of the moving bone when the mechanical axis is not fixed to only one location. So we have our mechanical axis here. It's not fixed to anything, which is allowing this swing to go, but I guess this is just staying perpendicular. This is a ask the professor. Watch this somehow spiral into quantum. What is that, Robo? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I thought it was customary. It is. I'm sorry. I think I was like, I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to throw hands right now. Studying's got me aggressive. Pow, 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 pow. But no, welcome. I am Sebastian. In voice and in text. Ability says, my brain is working so hard to understand this. I'm so sorry. Basically, osteokinematics is just supposed to be like, how do bones how do bones move? And then, you know, the joint is gonna allow it to move, and then something about mechanical axis, and then basically, hey, if this mechanical axis is at a fixed point, that means it's going to spin, and if it's not fixed, it's gonna swing. So here are gonna be some examples. Always be ready to hand smash. Oh, it's on site. These bones really be schmoving? They really do be. Are you a simple flips fan? Anyway, hold on. Yeah, so examples of mechanical axes for isolated rotational motions at the glenohumeral motions. So we can see this is going to be the axis for flexion and extension. So basically, if you swing your arm up, it's swing it up, it's flexion. If you bring it back down to your side, it's going to be extension. Then if you're putting it out to your side, we have the motion of abduction or abduction, which is again bringing the arm. This is your sideways view. You're bringing your arm out. You're T-posing, yeah, T for Tipanya, and then you're bringing it back for adduction, and that's going to be that motion there. And then we have external rotation and internal rotation. So you're going to have your arms to the side, palms facing up, and then pretty much you're going to put your palms up and down, up and down, up and down. Turn your wrist in and out, in and out, in and out, and that's going to be your external rotation and internal rotation. So they're asking, hey, which one will you describe as spin and which one would you describe as swing? So we talked about this. Look, these are having some pretty free motion. I would assume that these are swings because look, they're even swinging, while the internal and external rotation, even just demonstrating it through words and even doing it myself, teehee, that's gonna be more of a spin. Look at the arrow rotating. So yes, these are both gonna be spins, while this is gonna be your swings, and these are gonna be your spin right here. So human osteokinematic angular movements are often combinations of swing and spin. So similar to like, oh, when we're doing movements, angular or linear. Well, humans are so fun. It's actually gonna be, oh my goodness, a combination of all two. So as you see, osteokinematic rotations are often combinations of spin and swing, even when it only appears that swing is occurring. So, see, this makes sense now? Yeah! This is making sense. Everything else, the mechanical axis, I get vague ideas now. So, we could start from here. So when we start, we're bringing our palm up. So we see in one. But then we have to bring it out over here. And bring it down. So so if he has his arm up, he's swinging up. Then he's swinging out to the side. But where's the spin here? Where's the spin? Where is it? It is what it is. We'll look at it a little bit more and see. But just know that human motion is very interesting. Whoa. Movement of a joint. So, okay. So let's again talk about the osteokinematics and arthrokinematics. So we've been hyper-focused on the osteokinematics. So this is going to be our visible movements, Visible movement of bone around a joint axis relative to the XYZ plane. This is something we could see. Like if I tell you, hey, raise your arm or do a bicep curl, I'm definitely seeing you do that motion. These motions are also considered gross motions, not because they're disgusting. That's just it's dealing with a large part. So for example, like we saw the flexion and a reduction. So again, like maybe like bicep curls, or maybe just raising your arm up, or raising your arm up to the side again to do that T-posing. These movements are going to be under direct voluntary control. You say you want to do a T-pose, you're going to do a T-pose, and that's going to be all dealing with osteokinematics. So let's actually transition to arthrokinematics. Arthro is going to be the articulation of the joints. So movements of joints articulating surface. For example, so now we're not going to be talking about our general motions of like flexion, extension, external rotation, internal rotation. We're going to be talking about something more internal. We're going to be talking about translation, rotation, spins, or even the combination of all these motions in our joints alone. These again are not gross motions. I'm not saying bicep curl. I'm saying like what is the joint doing inside that we're not able to visibly see. So for example, the translation can be a glide or slide of one joint surface from on one to another. We have rotation of one joint surface on another, spin of one joint surface on another, or combination of rotation and slide. You know what we talked about earlier in the earlier slides, the curvilinear, where everything is moving as a set and a path, but this path is going to be curved of one joint surface on another. These movements are not under direct voluntary control. You can't ask your have you come seeing your elbow? Let me just put it that way. Let me see. Elbow bone. Anatomy. Anatomy. Why is this tiny baby? Okay. So, the reason why I want to bring this up is... Let me use this as a cursor. So, again, osteokinematics is like, hey, do a bicep curl. So this is like your arm, this is your elbow, and this is your forearm, and then your hand would be here. Woo! Doing that bicep curl or going up, that's the osteokinematics. But what you're not seeing is, I don't necessarily recall excuse me, the direct motion, but these joints, this bone-on-bone contact that you're having right here at your elbow, that's not something you can manually control. You can't be like, bone, move, you know? You're controlling the muscles doing the motions, but you're not controlling the joints doing the motion. This, I think, is just is it just a translation? I don't recall. We'll have to actually double check a little bit more, and hopefully they'll talk about it a little bit more in the PowerPoint. But hopefully you get like a rough idea of the main difference between these two. I tell my hand to do the thing and it does. Basically, that's osteokinematic. That's giving you visible under direct voluntary control. Anything that's involuntary, like think of your heart, you can't tell your heart could like stop pumping, you know? Even if you hold your breath, it's kind of like still gonna pump for a little bit at least. So let's see. Influences on arthrokinematic motion. So we could talk about the joint geometry. Whoa, we're actually covering all different kind of mass. Let's go. Ligamentous constraints, so any of our ligaments that may be restraining something. So maybe if you're not as familiar with it, Cubs, you know that our knee is not really attached to us, right? It's just a floating bone attached by ligaments and whatnot. But you're like vaguely familiar with, like, you know, sports and whatnot. So you know when people are like, oh, I dislocated or I hurt my knee, or you know, I sprained the ligament, or I got kicked in the knee on the side, you know, my ligament, yeah, ligamentum constraints can really like help us out a lot. And intervening structures, which I'm not sure what they're talking about specifically, but hopefully we'll go more into detail about that. So let's go move on. So we have just briefly talked about it, but the types of joint movements again is going to be the movement of joint surfaces relative to one another. So we have our spin, our roll, our glide, and slide. We also have compression and distraction. Our compression and distraction are moments that we are going to do as clinicians, but we're not quite there yet. The spin, roll, and glide are going to be motions that your body will do involuntary as you do those gross osteokinematic motions. So describing joint surface movements. So let's talk about spin. So spinning is a pure rotation around a fixed axis. A few human joints exhibit only spin. So we have our mechanical axis, our moving joint surface, and the opposing stationary force. Different points on the moving surface come in contact with the same position on the opposing surface. Oh, one moment. Oh, never mind. Alright, mechanical axis does not change its position. So, as previously discussed, was the osteokinematic characterizations of rotary bone movements called spin. At the surface of a joint, we can also describe spin based on what is happening between them. The spinning between joint surfaces is somewhat familiar to us already when you consider what happens when a car tire tries to rotate when it's on ice. The tire literally rotates in place. When we are talking about joint surface movements and spinning, it is really just describing the rotation occurring between the two joint surfaces. The simplified animation here— there's an animation? Boo. Boo, can't even see the animation. Anyway, the simplified animation here demonstrates what happens between a moving articulating surface and one that is stationary. As the animation runs, note the point of contact for the rotating object changes, but the point of contact on the ground stays the same. This is arthrokinematically what we would be used to describe as spinning. Note that the mechanical axis during spinning stays in the same location. Boo! I want the animation. But I guess we have a very big idea if we use our imagination. Wow, it's just spinning. Wow. The mechanical axis will stay in the same location. It's not going to go like up, down, left, right. It's going to stay right here in the center. So now that we talked about spinning, let's talk about translation. Just think of translation as kind of like a slide or a glide. So the points of contact of a fixed component changes with the same point of contact of the moving component. Wordy? Hey, this point, it's always going to be sliding, and it's always going to be on the bottom, and as you move along with it, it's not going to rotate, it's not going to spin, it's going to just slide. So when a passive mobilization technique is applied to produce a slide of one of the joint surfaces on another, it's referred to as a glide. So when you're sliding one against the other, but you're having that pure slide with each one, that's going to be referred to as a glide. So previously we had discussed translation, but when we reviewed linear movements of a rigid body, well, I did not read that right, I'm sorry. But now let's look at this as if one bone surface is translating Christ. It's one motion to another. Bam! Easy. Now let's describe pure rolling. So let's see, what is the difference between like a rolling and a spin? I'm actually kind of curious. Is spinning like, how do you say it, like a half rotation? And pure rolling is going 360? The world may never know. But let's check it out. So for a pure rolling, it's a simultaneously combination of rotation and linear translation. Oh, okay. So different points of one surface come in contact with different points on the second surface, and the mechanical axis will change positions. But where is the mechanical axis here then? I assume there was a center. Are you saying as it rotates? Oh no! Oh no! Anyway, let's see what the little description says. So rotational movements of bone can also involve rolling motions. When a round object like a car tire rolls, it travels forward on the surface on the road. What is observed is a combination of rotation and translation. To describe rolling, we can define it by stating that in regards to the joint surface, a series of new contact points on one articulating surface are coming in contact with a series of new contact points on another surface. So we had our here, and then it comes back over here. During rolling, the mechanical axis of rotation is changing its position. Contrast this to the arthrokinematic spinning, in which the mechanical axis is stationary. So it stays the same as it rolls? I guess in the end product, yeah, I guess. But one of the main differences is the mechanical axis, but I'm wondering again where that is and if this is referring to the little pink thing here. Because you see the white triangle coming up here, so... Big, huh? Anyway. Curse headpads, hi Mathbug. Give me one moment, I'm almost done with this, okay? Rolling on one joint surface on another during normal human movement is very minimal. When excessively rolling is seen to occur, it may suggest a joint dysfunction or injury. So maybe someone's like super flexible and they're like, watch what I can do with my arm. Oh. So which of the following joint types would demonstrate only spin motion? No! So we didn't really talk about this. This is like different things that go back to some of the earlier concepts of gross anatomy. So example of these. So hinge is like the elbow joint, basically, you know, up down, bicep curls. Plantar? I don't remember plantar actually. Plantar joint? I know saddle joint is like your thumb. Apparently plantar refers to like your foot. Interesting. Excuse me. Your saddle is exactly what it sounds. It's like a saddle shape, like, you know, the saddles that you put onto a horse. And then we have pivot, and pivot is you're able to, you know, spin it. Like if you're on a pivot point and it's able to rotate, kind of like our maybe this is not the best example, but you know, our C1 and C2, our first cervical vertebrae and our second one, allowing us to do like the yes-no motions and the rotations, so we could turn our head left and right. That provides us a pivot point to do these kind of motions. So yeah, it would make sense that pivot's the only one that does the spin, and all these other ones do not. And then in summary, that's it. Alright, let me get you some Chris head pads, okay? Let me also see what else we have really quick. One moment. Oh, there's my hand. Alright, midnight education. Go the heck to bed. Go the heck to bed. Go the heck to bed. It's late. Go to bed. It's late. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. These are your cursed head pads. Go to bed. Go to bed. I can't really rhyme. Go to bed. Go to bed. What the heck are you doing? Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. Pat, 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 pat. Make these cursed head pads calm you down during these trying times. That's one they can. The better to hold you with, my dear. Alright, let me put this bad boy away. And let me put this away as well. One moment. I'm trying to think Tippa's trying to say something. I know. But like my words. I'm really trying. Anyway, we're on our last PowerPoint. Oh, this one looks baby. Like not like baby, but like, you know, like baby. This one I don't know if I have to go over so much, but we can just to say like, hey, we did it, you know. Why does it always look like this? Is it? Alright, time to do some cutting magic here. Alright. Next time I'll open them as PDFs or something, I don't know. Alright, so for our last PowerPoint, so we can wrap up this 3-hour study session, imagine this is what I have to do. And this is for one class. Imagine when I had 5 classes, this is what I would do normally. Boo! Natural cameraman posing, right? You gotta get those good angles. That's how you know this person does video and photography. One of that crushes, by the way? Nah. No one's reported an injury yet. Alright. Let me erase this up a little bit. No! This is so dummy. Dummiest. Okay. So, in this unit, basically we've been discussing about the kinematics of human motion and exploring the mechanical characteristics and the descriptors of movement. Really, as clinicians, it's going to be really important to capture emotion for clinical analysis. And honestly, with the technology that's advancing, it's becoming actually much simpler to do these things. You don't have to like eye it out and be like, oh, I think you're walking a little funny. We can like confirm that you're walking funny with some of the technology that may be available in some of the clinics. These tools are going to be offered as a means of capturing and quantifying some of the movement across many clinical settings. So we're going to explore different kind of motion capture methods, from very traditional stuff to some of the innovative stuff that we'll see in our practice. Oh no, class is starting? No problem. Please have a good one. Thank you for stopping by right before class too. Heck. Please have a good one, alright? Good luck with class. Stay focused, okay? Don't be like me. Good luck. So, let's talk about our movement analysis. So, skip class? No, Fair, don't say that. Don't be like Fair. The only skip that you're gonna do is... none, actually. I can't even think of one. The only skip you're doing is skipping 2 class. If you have like a physical class you actually have to attend. Anyway. I feel like bringing up a random tangent. Did you know I randomly had a pedestrian cross the street when there was a lot of cars passing by, and as soon as he was like, nope, he turned around and he just like skipped back towards the sidewalk. I was like enamored. I was like, I don't know, I would have just made it to the middle medium, but you know, it was just like so cartoonish. Anyway, so let's actually read this description out and then we'll read out the PowerPoint. So in this slide, take a look into the areas involved in the biomechanical aspects of the movement analysis. Note that movement analysis involves an integrated multi-system approach. Certainly, biomechanical analysis of movement requires more than simple kinematic assessment, and throughout the course we will be exploring and utilizing many of the basic methods that you see here. But at the core of any movement evaluation is the collection of kinematic data that captures displacements of the limbs or trunk segments. Static and quasi-dynamic displacements can be completed with simple measurement tools. However, reliably calculating velocities and acceleration typically requires some form of instrumentation. Here in this section, we're going to be exploring the methods to capture this kinematic data, and again, the kinematic is going to be our motion. So we have kinematics, and it's going to be our position, angle, velocity, and acceleration. We can also find the art. I've never seen this word before. Arthropometry, which is the body measures such as our body measure. Our body dimensions and proportions. We have kinetics, which is going to be our Newtonian. Mechanics, which are going to be our forces, our movements, and pressures. And we have the EMGs, which is going to be the motor control, which is going to help with the muscle activation pattern. Some people do get EMGs if they're like, hey, I don't know if I can move my hands. Like, whoa, can you move your hand? Let's see if it's a nerd thing, you know? All these together are going to be data integrations and correlations, and that's going to help us provide analysis and interpretation for a person's condition. So, kinematic analysis. So basically, we can assess about someone's gait, how they walk or run. We could see about their functional assessment for their upper extremities. We can also use these as rehab interventions for the gait analysis. Use it for any upper extremity analysis. See about any of the joint replacements or the orthotics or prosthetics that we were talking about earlier, and be able to provide patient education and feedback. Also, we could do a posture analysis and performance assessment. So basically, assessing and quantifying the pattern and quality of movement in real time are going to be the staples for us as clinicians. There are many reasons to assess kinematics, as you see here, and that are listed here. These are just very common examples that we'll be using in the clinic. Again, kinematics is just going to be only one aspect of movement analysis, but as you see, it can all apply to any of these here. My back hurts, can you fix me? No, I'm only a bearcat, and I'm only a student. Here, it kind of depends on what the issue is. I always tell people about like my favorite back stretch that I like doing, but that is to your own discretion. I could show you. But if not, I always recommend like applying a little bit of heat if you're feeling strain. But if you're feeling like actual pain and inflammation, you can do a little bit of ice and then hopefully go see your doctor if you have healthcare and all that jazz, if it's going for much longer than you expect. Unfortunately, back pain for us of similar lifestyles that I can only politely assume is pretty natural. But no need to live in pain, you know. Try to do your best, because what do you call it? You should take care of yourself. Basically, I'm trying to be inspirational. I'm like, it's only you who could take care of yourself, and your health is number one. And da 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 da. Time to break out the trick again? No, don't say that. Tip us out the ruler and protractor. Like, oh yes, let's see how much your back can extend. Anyway, so static assessments of angular position. So we could do our goniometers, and we could basically assess that for degree units, and it's pretty much static, it's reliable, and pretty much it's pretty valid, plus or minus about 5 degrees. It's very difficult to get it wrong, but you might have like a misalignment with your points when you're doing goniometer. And goniometers, again, is a tool to assess our range of motion for certain things. So in this picture, this is going to be elbow flexion that they're going for. This is their stationary arm, their axis, and their movement arm. This is going to be moving here. Ohayo! Daragon! Ohayo! Ohayo gozaimasu! Hi, welcome. I hope everything's been super well. Long time no see. John says I'm inspired, slightly tired, but I'm inspired. I'm sorry, we're almost there. This is the last PowerPoint. If you can make it through this, you can make it through anything. How exciting is that? And after you're done with study streams, that's it. Man, I still haven't checked out my next classes. I'm kind of nervous. If it's like today, I might have to do another study stream tomorrow, and then Thursday I could find a game. Boo! I just can't game like for 7 hours again. Heck school. I'm becoming a full-time YouTuber. Anyway, so we have the inclinometers. Basically, this is really cool. So they can use gravity upon the pointers and fluid measures to evaluate range of motion. So where was it? I think it was someone's head that they were doing this on, but I feel like it was also the back as well. So you could put on your head, and then basically the fluid, if you do like that, the fluid would follow and be like, oh yes, this person has like 20 degrees of lateral side bending for their neck. And it's like, whoa, that's so cool. And we could also use tape measures. We talked about this last semester about how we could assess like lumbar and thoracolumbar flexion and extension. What the heck is this? Why did it change? Screams! Okay, go here. And it's big school. Huh? So what I'm hearing is that if I follow you long enough, I'll too have a degree? Yeah, I don't remember where I saw this, but are you guys familiar? Please forgive me. And this is my first time saying his last name. Michael Reeves? He's a part of Offline TV, dating Lily Pichu, very smart, had a video had a really good video about having his fish trade stocks. Well, I saw like a little short video of him basically, and he's like, yeah, I just kind of taught myself. There's always free online classes, and he went to free like online Harvard classes, and like he just actually just walked into the class even though he didn't have like he didn't pay tuition or anything. The only unfortunate thing is that, yeah, I guess you can get away with that, but the issue is just, you know, you don't get a degree at the end of it. But you'll have the knowledge if you do pursue this kind of degree if you want. Wow, you got like a head start. Yeah. But no, actually, if you haven't, hold on, let me grab this really quick. If you have not seen the fish video, did I say taxes? I meant stocks. Please do check him out. He's actually really funny. But yeah, I gave my goldfish $50,000 to trade stocks, and I won't spoil it, but it is a roller coaster of a ride. No! Hi! Welcome! Thank you for a tier 1 sub for 6 wacky mobs. Thank you for the half year. I appreciate your continued support, so Sugar Bear. Very much. Welcome. Sneak into university and scam people? Yeah, university can be a little scamish, but it's the degree at the end that matters, like, I guess. Also, should I buy a fish and give him money? Yeah. Look at the video, see how to do it, and maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe. Anyway. Anyway, so this last one is kind of stinky because it's cropped out like this weirdly, but basically just know there's different kind of ways to capture data, and it's gonna get your posture over time, and then it's gonna track the changes and the progress or the process of that. So types of motion capture technologies, it's like VTubing, hello? We have magnetic capture, which I've never heard of, mechanical or electrogoniometers, interesting. We have video, which we were seeing earlier in the slide, and we have infrared, dun. So we have the video that we saw here with the motion capture, so that's going to be super cool because apparently I'll get to be able to use this. Video observations of motion, so pretty much there's actually some free apps that you can download to see like, hey, how's my posture, and how's this, and is this aligning, and how do I run, and hey, is there a hip drop, am I raising my leg enough, am I raising my foot enough. The gait cycle's kind of wacky, and hopefully we'll get to talk about it more later. But yeah, it would look something like this with the smartphone tracking. It'll get the arrows and it'll start giving you like the numbers, hopefully again on a separate screen. I'm not actually as familiar with the app, but yeah, I think it's super cool. There's video analysis software, so if you can record something and basically put it onto the software, this is going to have some auto tracking features. Automatic markers will be like, oh, that's basically a need, and do some data manipulation. And here are some. This is going to be free. This is going to cost money. Oh, what is this? Oh my goodness. Look at this man run. Actually, really thinking of how technology has come this far is honestly really amazing. Can I tell you much about this and to say if this is normal? No, I'm just a student. But basically this video, which I'll play again, even though it had the longest intro, is to basically say, note here the ability to track the movement of the limb and foot segments in real time. The advantage of this type of software is the ability to track movement continuously. The user of the software was interested in tracking the limb segments of the global frame of reference and to visualize an overall pattern of the leg and foot segments, and they use different colored lines. Talk about gait cycle? More talk? Yeah. Oh boy, don't you love being self-conscious about like the way you talk? Walk. If you can walk the talk. Is that how you say it? You gotta walk the walk to do the talk? Oh my gosh. What does it say? Walk the talk, right? Yeah, you gotta walk the talk. That's really cool. You can use your smartphone for posture and gait analysis. It really is, honestly. I think technology is super, super cool. And I can't really say so much for the motion capture because that also kind of aligns a little bit with VTubing. So, but obviously they're using it for more health analysis and all that. And just here being a weeb. And I think with that, we're good because this just goes about money and the complexity and blah 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 blah. So guess what? Guess what? Guess what? We're done! Bachi 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 bachi. I still have to take notes on these? Boo! But at least I'm like familiar with it at least, and I can download the PowerPoints, we'll take notes and highlights, and honestly a refresher of like, oh, this is this and this is that. Thank you for the headpad. Thank you, 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 thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so relieved. And then I have 30 minutes to spare right before the meeting that I have. I'm excited. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. But yeah. Welcome come. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate ya. I appreciate ya. I appreciate ya. I appreciate ya. Yeah. Alright, Cubs. So I have 2 people I'm really interested in rating. Okay? And you have to forgive me for this one, okay? Let me see if there's like a secret third person. No. So wait, before I go into rating stuff, if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for the good work stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you for the headbath, and thank you for the whoa, thank you for the clap, thank you. If you're new here, thank you so very much for joining. I appreciate you very, very, very much. Feel free to join the Discord if you haven't already. Would love to have you. On Mondays we do anime nights at 9 p.m. EST. On Twitter, I normally have my schedule posted up. Right now, my schedule is Gorilla Stream. I may stream tomorrow. If not, you'll definitely catch me Thursday, and I'll definitely have a post about it. I promise. I did not spell social right at all. But there, it's where I'll have like YouTube and all that good jazz. So with that, let's see who we're gonna raid. So Cubs, can you help me out? So there's this cute new, well, she's not new, but she's a really cute VTuber. And we stopped by here, and she's playing Fortnite, and she's like level 2. So I like want to encourage her and be like, oh my gosh, we love Fortnite. But there's also Nyaru, who's celebrating like 2-year anniversary. But like also I don't know if I get to like yeah, like 2-year anniversary comes, once a year. But my girl's playing Fortnite. So I have a little poll going up if you want to help me decide and all that jazz. Even though obviously it's like, Tippa, you have your mind made up. I'm like, no, but I feel bad. I feel like I should always celebrate, like, oh, happy anniversary, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But Soli is just like really cute. Yana's also really cute too. But I'm just like, I feel like I don't get to catch both of the streams. Soli just started streaming like 30 minutes ago, and she's like level 3 in Fortnite. Nadia's been streaming about 4.5 hours, and she's going with her merch, which honestly super super cute. I want Yadako merch. Soon TM, I hope in my dreams that we're able to get something like that. But yeah. I have to pull up for just a little bit, and then we can kind of go from there, okay? And then if not, we can always raid Nyaru next time. Nyatako merch, make it happen. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be like, towel, please. I want. You know what I want? It sounds so dumb. I don't think these are the right names for it. Like mochi ball dolls. Like they're like little circular plushes. Let me see if I can find a picture. Like how cute would it like? I'm like so nervous. I don't know why. What's this picture? This? How cute would it be if we just had like little plush mochi balls. I saw that Tita made one of those. I want to see. But I'm like, how cute would this be of all the Nyanako members? It's so cute. Yeah, I think these are what they're called, mochi, because they're like squishy, you know? And how cute. And then they'll be like, have you heard of the Disney ones? What were they called? They had them years ago, and I thought they were so cute. Should I put Disney mochi dolls? They're like stackable. Maybe that's the word I'm supposed to put. Stackable dolls. Plush. Tsum Tsums! Tsum Tsums! Thank you! Tsum Tsums! They were so cute, and oh my goodness, if Nyanako could get stackable plushes of Tsum Tsums, I would cry. Hold on, let me show you this big booty image. One moment. Oh my gosh, thank you. Look how big! Look how big they are! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! How can I forget these things? I thought they were so cute, but I was like, oh, I'm not a collector at heart. I cannot do it. But I have a giant mini one because I was like, okay, I have to do it at least once. Anyway, yeah, this is what I'm going to talk to Mr. Nazelli about. Mr. Nazelli, please, I would like a Tsum Tsum. I like Nyanako merch. Stackables are like tube shape? Yeah. Can I get a sideways profile for you? Oh, maybe this is a little bit better. One moment. So you see how they're like round? Shaped like a friend? So they're like stackable in that way, but they're like flat underneath, so that's why they're stackable. They're like a cylinder with a flat surface. I remember seeing those Disney swimsuits so much. Yeah, same! They're just cute. Eat them? They say they like, I can't say it seriously. You are what you eat, you know? I want to become Tsum Tsum. I want to become round and stackable. I want to become just as cute, honestly. Anyway, Mommy's World, hi! Welcome. Hi. Sorry, I was studying, but now I'm done studying, so now I'm just talking about Tsum Tsum, so welcome. We're actually gonna try to see about who we can raid because I've been going for 3.5 hours, so you gotta forgive me. We all strive to be stackable? Exactly! Goodness, my dreams. One day a reality. Tip turns into Bean? Also another dream, soon to become a reality. Anyway, let us get going. So, I think even though I have our raid messages, I think we should just do something like generic. We love Fortnite. For Soli, I hope you, what do you call it? Enjoy her. She has such a cute voice, such a cute personality and model and all that jazz. I really love the art style that she has. And she's playing Fortnite. Win in my book. Big thumbs up. Tsum Tsum period? No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll try to stream tomorrow if school goes okay. But if school doesn't go okay, you'll definitely catch me Thursday, okay? Thank you for stopping by though, even if it was brief. But feel free to join us with the raid, okay? It's something like this. Okay, wait. We love Fortnite. It's not dumb. It's okay. It's just a raid message, you know? Anyway, like I said again, hopefully too. And she got her victory royale! Congrats on the victory royale! Let's go! Like I'm just not like watching the stream casually. Let's go, cuz. Let's go. Before this congratulations is gonna seem really awkward. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. I'll make a Twitter post about it. If not, heck, I'll definitely see you Thursday early EST, maybe in the morning, and we could play some Cult of the Lamb because I definitely want to get more progress into that. This was her first game and she got a victory royale. I'm so proud. Oh my gosh, let's go celebrate, Cubs. I'll see you, okay? Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your evening, okay? Bye. Lots of love to you, okay? Bye. Bye, Ashley.